Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 148. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting show because we don't actually have a whole lot of news. However, we came up with an awesome topic to talk about. Plus, we're gonna have some fun discussions as always. But there's still some more ABK stuff to talk about. I want to look ahead at what the Xbox looks like after ABK with the franchises that we have. Like where do they rank, you know? And then this guy's gonna tell me about some of the things I missed today because I've been kind of besides playing a little bit of Diablo earlier. Besides that, I've been kind of out of touch because I've been doing some other stuff. But besides that, I want to say hello to the chat. You guys rock. Thanks for always tuning into the show. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so let's say hello to the panel first. What's up to Jasper? How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Just been playing a little bit of Remnant with boys before the show started. Got a couple hours in, so that's what I've been up to today pretty much. Just waiting for that to come out.
Nice. Okay,
I was going to go play Call of Duty, but first game I got on ran into a hacker, the old Call of Duty, so I'm like, okay,
which
we're not
one?
doing that.
Which Black
Ops 2.
Two?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you guys, after we get through some of the intros about Remnant 2, because I'm about to hop in after the show with you guys and see how it is. But y'all have had an hour and a half, 2 hours or so to get into it. How are you doing, Fuzz?
I'm doing pretty good. Just been playing some Diablo and didn't watch the fireside chat, but I'm pretty sure we'll get into that. But enjoying it somewhat. It's definitely getting used to using a barbarian over a sorcerer. But the good thing is, I guess considering the sorcerer was the dare I say the weakest link, it feels a little bit better being a barbarian this go around. But yeah, been playing that and usual Division, Forza Motorsport, well, not Motorsport, but Horizon 5, GT7, and Undisputed. But I haven't really played as much of that as I usually do. But good to be here, and man, can't wait to get into these topics today.
Yeah, thanks for being here as always, Fuzz. And then we got the one and only Pong Soul. What's up, Pong?
What's going on? Friday night, nice small panel tonight. Short topic list because it was not the week we were expecting, as you and I talked about last night on PM to PM. A little bit different, just delayed for a little bit, but not a whole lot of big topics. We got some fun topics tonight, but it's great to be. It's great that it's Friday. That's for damn sure. So nice day at work. Got out of there early enough to get home and play some Remnant 2 with Steel and Jasper. So that was freaking cool. And obviously played some Season 1 Diablo last night with you guys and had a great time. Got up to level 20. And, I'm playing Necro this time around. I actually decided on Necro. And it feels really, really good. It feels like a new experience, which is the cool part. That's I was actually glad that I took the time off of Diablo that I did, because I think that actually made it better for me hopping back into it again like I did last night. So we can get into the fireside chat. That was very, very interesting to say the least. Steele went on a 15-minute rant behind the scenes while we were playing Remnant 2 when I just asked him what he thought about the fireside chat. He went on a split screen rant. So that's kind of gives you an idea what it was like. But happy to be here. Chat, you're all looking freaking incredible. It is the golden age of gaming. Was not planning on buying Remnant 2, and here I am playing Remnant 2. So this is how it goes. There's a great meme going around today from the Remnant 2 developers. I don't know if you all saw this, but it had I forget what show it's from. There's a scene in a movie. There's a guy sitting in the front row, like in a church pew, and he's smiling away, and they labeled that as Diablo Season 1. Then there's a girl behind him, or a guy behind him, one of the two, and they labeled that Remnant 2, and they got a gun pointed to the back of his head. And then behind that, there's another girl, right? And they labeled that one. They labeled her Baldur's Gate 3, and she's got a gun to the back of the head with the guy with the gun. And then sure enough, the last screen is the sniper up in the balcony, right? And they labeled it Starfield. It was freaking awesome. They said, they were just saying what a great time. I got a lot of great games coming out. In Exile retweeted it, quoted it, and said, great summer for RPG fans. That's a fact. We are in it.
So let's start with Remnant 2 a little bit, because y'all have had about about an hour and a half, 2 hours or so to get into it. Like I said, I'm going to be diving in to Remnant 2, and I missed the first game. We were talking about it last night when we were playing Diablo, and I think one of y'all, I think it was Jasper, who said like a lot of people slept on Remnant 1, right? And I was one of them. I slept on the game. I never played it. I didn't really look too much into it, anything like that. But hearing you guys' excitement for Remnant 2 over the last week and a half or so, and then seeing the reviews and then learning more about the game, it's on my radar. It got on my radar. So without kind of knowing too much, I bit the bullet and I'm gonna play the game tonight. So how is it? Is it like up to expectations for y'all right now, or is it disappointment, or having a blast? What's your thoughts?
You're muted, Bong. I don't know what you said.
I said, go ahead, Jets.
I'm loving it. I mean, I like the first game. The first game was for me like my game of the year when it came out in 2019. So like for me, this is just like Remnant, but the sequel. So what more could you ask for?
Is it a big step up, or is it just more the same, you think? Or
well, I'm not too far in, so I don't know if there's going to be like, I don't know how much like change there's going to be from the first one, but right now it just seems like the first one, but more. So
yeah, right on. What about you, Paul? Digging it?
Definitely a step up from the first one. I played the first one solo. I did not co-op it. I played solo. It is a Souls-like game with guns, right? So it has its moments of frustration for me. I played the first one for probably about 20, 30 hours, probably. I finally got to a boss that I literally, over the span of, I took days off. All right, kind of let things settle like you're supposed to do in Souls. You're not supposed to, once you start beating your head against the wall, it's not good. I kept trying different strategies against this boss, learned the boss's moves, all that kind of stuff. I literally tried that boss probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 50 times, like legitimately over probably a week's period. And I finally said, enough's enough. And that's when I put down that game. But of course, that was before I had to, jumped into this community. That's before I had all you guys and all that kind of stuff. So I've never played a co-op before.
Yeah.
But playing, knowing what they did here with this game and the step up that the team looked like it took, that's what got me excited about when I was watching all the different classes and all that kind of stuff. That's what got me excited about again, because I loved what I played of the game until I got to that boss. Like I just loved the gunplay. I liked the powers that you get, the crafting, all that felt really good. And it looks like they with Remnant 2, they took that next step up. Jasper surprisingly said this is a UE5 game. So UE5. Yeah, it's a UE5 game. So that's also interesting. But no, I think the game so far, what we just played, I had a great time. You got to play a solo part for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the beginning until you can join people's matches. So we all did that. And then finally we could all group up. We grouped up. First tunnel in. Again, we were down in the sewer. Like the first part, it's wide open. It's procedurally generated levels, right? I should say what's in the levels are procedurally generated. So you don't, both Steele and Jasper hadn't seen this level before.
I saw that main town, but it had different
everything
elements.
Else is different. Yeah, everything else was different, which is cool. We went down to these sewers, and it's like the first level, we're playing on normal difficulty because they were in my world. So I'm not, we're not playing sweaty here. So we're playing normal difficulty. Walk down to the sewers. We wind up having to kill these were-rat monkey things, and then we get one that's a boss, and he's got lightning that can call down at any moment, and it's hard to see the lightning, and we got rolled the first time. Like, it was like crazy. So, but the synergy between the classes, I'm using the handler, Jasper's using the hunter, which is more like the sniper class. And then Steele is using the healer. You can already kind of tell early on how that could start working out. Really loving the dog. Having the dog AI with you, you can send out to attack. He heals you one time if you do go down, which is always nice. So I'm liking that synergy that I think there's going to be there too as well. 3-person co-op, just so everybody knows as well. Yeah, having a blast. I think they did a great job with the map. I think you're going to enjoy it tonight. The gunplay feels.
Yeah,
and everything else
that's
about
important.
the game, the environments and all that kind of stuff. You won't know, Matt, but if anybody played the first Remnant, the environments already look 10 times better than they did in the first.
I do have a question about the game a little bit, but I guess I'll find out shortly.
It's not like
after
Zombie
the
Army.
show. But
yeah, it's not like that.
Do your characters like get more powerful as you play, like over time, and then that, or is it like just skill based? You know what I mean? Like,
You level up your skills so you can get like skills that do more
Traits.
critical damage, more health, stuff like that.
And then there's
so it's got
traits
those
for
RPG
stamina, health.
elements
Yeah,
into-
you get
yeah.
traits as well. You
Okay.
get trait
you have
points.
armor where you get resistances and more health or more protection,
okay,
stuff like
this
that.
is awesome.
Yep.
Then, yeah,
Yeah, ammo is limited. That's the one thing. You share everything while you're in a group, except
Right.
for the ammo. So you do have to make sure that everybody's breaking.
Yeah,
When
whoever
the
picks up
ammo
that box
is
of ammo
dropping,
gets that.
that's it. So, but everything else, chest wise, you share all the different stuff that's in them. We all got the same rings when we looted a body or whatever the case, or completed the mission, because we
right
went
on.
back and we actually killed the boss and cleared out that whole sewer, and we actually completed a couple missions there. So everybody gets all that stuff. But ammo, and it is not like you get loads of ammo. You are running out of ammo. You're gonna have to switch weapons, go to handgun or whatever else, and use some melee based weapons too, which you all get. So it is challenging from that standpoint. But like I said, the first time we met that were rat boss, it was over with. He was wow.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Fuzz, are you interested in this game? Have you thought about getting it, or?
It looks interesting, but I just don't know if I'll have the time.
Yeah,
Like
that's the problem. man.
unfortunately, I'm still playing Division 2. Like, yes, I know Diablo was going to pretty much kick that out of the loop. It hasn't completely. It's definitely diminished as far as the play time, but there's occasions when I go back to Insurgency Sandstorm. So if it wasn't for season 1, this would probably been a pickup. So if season 1 for Diablo was like
Yeah.
another month away, this would have probably been something I would have grabbed. But
Yeah, I hear you.
there's not enough time. Even being retired, there's not enough time. So
I think
it's-
the reason people may have slept on Remnant is because people say it's like Dark Souls with guns, but like it's a little easier than Dark Souls because you can like stay back.
Yeah.
But it's
And
it
you
still
keep
has
your
its-
stuff. You keep
yeah.
your stuff when you get killed too, right? So
and
it doesn't
I think
have
when
that
people
punishment.
hear Dark Souls, they just be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna die 1,000 times."
Yeah,
and
that
lose
that may be
everything."
kind of one thing that kept me away from it the first time, is that people say, "Oh, it's like Dark Souls." Or whatever.
It's got
Like,
dark.
okay,
It's a Dark Souls like. It's got elements of it, but it's
Yeah.
also a looter shooter at the same time.
Yeah, the
Like,
looter
there's
shooter
other-
aspect is
yep,
what has
yep.
me pumped, right?
Right,
Like, so
right.
that
is it first or third?
Third.
Third.
And how many classes
What's-
are there? There's 6.
There's 5 right now.
Oh, 5?
Five.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there will be more. But
Right on.
if you
Yeah, you
order
can
the
put-
Ultimate Edition, you get the gunslinger.
Yeah.
I got
end up
a
early.
scope on my rifle, and I can like click in the stick and zoom in, but it's not like straight first person. But
Yeah. Shout out to Alvin, hit us with a $5 super chat. Says, to quote Abraham Whistler, "I feel like hammered shit at help a brother get through this shit."
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Alvin, man, I hope you start feeling better, dude. Alvin,
we're here for you. We're here for you, brother.
Here's a little pick me up. Alvin, you rock. You're an awesome guy. I hope you have a great rest of your shift, Alvin. Does that help? Or does that just sound like a nerd?
Kind of sound like a nerd.
Okay. Well,
Sound like
hey,
a dad.
we love you, bro. This work shift may suck. You may not be feeling the best, but just remember, there's always video games when you get home, a bed to relax and chill, food to eat. It gets better. Get through that shift, right?
Hey, Chris Jones, thanks for taking out the trash earlier too. By the way, so, saw that. Appreciate you.
All right. So I want to get into something else I missed today, because I don't know when the fireside chat happened, but I was probably maybe
it was
either
like
driving or playing
3 o'clock
Diablo.
Eastern or
It was
something.
it was 3 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, was that
2 o'clock
earlier?
Central.
Yeah, I was busy.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. So, okay, talk about. Tell me what happened with the chat at the murder scene, I guess is what y'all are describing. That was the fireside chat from the Diablo team, because I know that
They're
there's
just clueless.
there's a lot of people upset about the patch leading into season 1. I haven't really looked at a lot of the response about season 1 yet, because I was just been playing season 1. I've been having fun. Like Barbarian, like Fuzzy, like is an adjustment for me, because the play style is so simple compared to some other classes and stuff. But I'm starting to get into groove where I'm starting to feel pretty powerful, and it's becoming a little badass to be the Barbarian. So I'm a little jealous of Pong and his Necromancer,
Bro, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed Necro so far.
And, I miss my Sorcerer a little bit, even though it was a sponge and they made it more spongy. But what happened during this fireside chat? Like, was it did they say they're making changes and people didn't like it, or they just basically said this is what we need to do, or like what
They
was,
talked a lot and said nothing.
were they just
there was
trying to
there was a
explain
lot
the
of that.
reasoning?
No, they did. They used generalities instead of specifics. Now they announced during this fireside chat that they're going to have another fireside chat next Friday.
And they're gonna have a fireside chat to discuss the problems that went down in this fireside chat.
Correct.
Probably.
No, they're gonna talk more about specifics and details in the next fireside chat because they're putting out another patch within the next couple of weeks. They said after the next week's fireside chat that the new patch will be coming very shortly after that. They won't lock down a specific time frame because they're not sure, but it's within a matter of 2 weeks from today, they said.
Right. So
Okay.
was there like apologies made?
No, that was the first problem. There was no direct apologies made to the community. There was a lot of splaining and a lot of excuse making. They acknowledged that we talked about this last night, right, Mav?
Yeah.
And I said that they did the extreme thing, and they acknowledged they did the extreme thing, and they said they will never do a patch like this again. Fine, so be it.
Why did they do it though? Like the first time, because I admit, like I don't notice the changes as much as some people, right? But like they talked a lot about this stuff leading up to the patch, that they weren't going to do stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about, oh, you know, I remember watching the season 1 stream, or how like, yeah, these characters they're gonna feel so powerful and broken because like they're gonna be awesome.
Yeah, they got to do that in the back
stuff.
end, but the second it comes to us, they're like, no, you don't get to have
But
fun.
then,
They're the ones
right,
that get to have fun.
For the season 1 patch update, it's just like they nerf everything, right? So it's like,
they went on it.
I do also say that like when I made my second season 1 or season 0 or Eternal Realm character, I guess, right? I started with more boosts and upgrades than I did for season 1, when they kept talking about how, and I remember from the original season 1 thing, they're talking about how so much stuff was going to carry over, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they actually limited how much stuff was carrying over, like compared to what they already had carrying over before the update as well.
Yeah,
because I got 6 ability points to start with for season 1, and when I made my new Eternal Realm character, the new Necro, I had 10 to start with, plus the 25 Paragon points or whatever. So it was like, it seemed like a lot of miscommunication about trying to hype people up, about excitement, and like, hey, this is gonna be awesome, you're gonna like all this stuff, and then they show them the reality, right? Of like, this is what we're actually doing, you know? So maybe they'll learn their lessons there. I just don't understand why they did that to begin with.
They overcorrected, right? That's what they did. And Jasper, you can correct me if you're wrong. I was at work, so I wasn't 100% locked in through the entire conversation. But what I kept hearing was the main reason why they did what they did was because of the vulnerable damage, right, Jasper?
Yeah.
That's the main reason, that the vulnerable damage, because because it stacks, and also because because of how it's currently implemented, they felt like that everybody is kind of forced to take that vulnerable damage as a part of their class. And they felt that the way that it stacks, because it multiplies, and they found like instances where it's crazy, like broken. And so they have to go in and change the vulnerable damage, and they're planning on moving it and changing it so that it's not given.
Yeah, it's
right?
not a multiplicative stat.
Right.
It's an additive stat.
Right. It's an additive stat. But in order to do that, they've got to change so much in the background that they did this patch to try to correct everybody from that. Right. And they nerfed everybody to try to adjust for that, because they didn't have the time to go in and do that change.
Do you think they should have focused on the other problems that were causing some characters to be too weak as well, instead of just...
That's another thing they addressed.
Yeah.
They were like, they nerfed everything without making a class, like for the sorcerer example, they nerfed it too hard without giving that class an alternative power build.
Correct.
So what they said now is they're going to want each class to have their power build, and if they do nerf it, they want to add another power build to that class. So there's always going to be a power build and not just be a weak class that no one wants to
There'll be an
use.
alternative
Yeah.
to it, right? There'll be an alternative for people to go
'Cause
after.
that's the main
right?
problem with the sorcerer right now, is that it's like so squishy because the whole thing is built on resistances and stuff like that for the damage against the sorcerer, right? But like the sorcerer itself, they didn't even really fix that or address that, but instead they're just taking the power away. That was the only reason to make it worth playing, right? As a sorcerer. So it was like, okay. And at first, I like I said, maybe I don't notice this stuff as much as other people, but it seems like if you're going to focus so much on fixing something that you think is making people too powerful, why don't you have the same attention for the things that people are saying is making these characters too weak, right?
Correct.
And you can't just balance one side and not the other,
Yeah, the mood of the entire fireside chat, you definitely could tell they got gut punched, right?
When it started, they were all just like,
yeah, they were like legit, like they've been gut punched. They know they've been gut punched, right? This is bad because they had such a swelling of goodwill to begin with.
Yeah.
They just squandered it all in one moment, right? And again, now I personally,
I think it was building up because there was stuff.
Yeah, there was other stuff. There was, again, it was end game stuff though, right? It was a lot of end game stuff. It was a lot of the 1 to 5% that we talk about in Diablo.
I think it wasn't less than 1%. Be honest with you,
whatever you want to say, that's where the big stuff was coming from, where a lot of the complaints were coming from. But again, they understand that that's going to be your loudest community, right? That's going to be your people, and that's going to be where your whales come from. That's going to be the people that are spending money in your game, right? And nowadays, again, you're in a battle for people's time. There's too much other stuff to play. I'm not worried about it per se, because I understand that this game is going to be here for a long time. The devs they went back and they fixed Diablo 3. Now, Steele's point, and Steele's not here to talk about this, you'll hear this tomorrow morning. Steele's point is they should have known better than to do something like this. And I totally agree. Again, this is a veteran dev team. This is a franchise that created this genre originally, basically, right? That put this genre on the map. Like, they've been through this. They had major issues with Diablo 3 to begin with. They should have known this was going to happen. And it's not just about the nerfing either here, Matt, because the way that when devs like this, these experienced devs, this is what totally boggles my mind. They come out and say something. They said this during the fire chat because there was a question about the experience, right? And how they've bumped down the experience, right? For power leveling and for characters above level 70 or whatever it is, where they bumped it down from a 25% gain if you're defeating higher level enemies, right? They bumped it down from a 25% XP gain to a 15% XP gain. And they literally said this. They said, because somebody brought up they've heard the community saying you just wanted to slow down the progress, right? And we all know that that's the case. They wanted more grind.
Right.
They literally said, no, that's not what we wanted to do. When we bumped that down, we didn't realize that it was going to create this problem in that level range.
How did they
how do you not understand that was going to cause people to feel like you're making them grind more when you took away bonus XP? Like, that makes zero sense to me, but they legitimately said that. And then the other thing was too, I'll bring this up. I'll let Jasper talk, or anybody else can jump in here on any of this stuff. They brought up slides during the fireside chat of some of their goals.
This reminded me of the fucking Halo shit back.
Bro.
Halo Infinite stuff.
The we're sorry.
Yeah. So they brought this slide and they listed out the 4 main priorities going forward as they develop Diablo. So all of them were like, hey, we're going to be more transparent. We're going to put out patch notes prior to doing patches. We're going to have a fireside chat for every patch that we put out, big patches that we put out. We're going to talk about it prior to us going live with it. So if you guys have any complaints, is basically what they're saying, we're going to try to fix them prior to the patch dropping.
That's
right?
not going to go well.
Right. But number 4, the last bullet point was to make sure that we keep the fun in the game. Yo,
shouldn't that be
first of all? I don't know how to do that.
Biggest priority first one ever, right?
Right. that should be the first one, right? Absolutely should be the first one, because again, how do you not know again, I've given these people the flowers for everything they've done with Diablo 4.
Yeah, I love Diablo. It's my game of the year.
I love it. It's my game of the year still too. To this day, it is. But how do you not realize that sending out a patch that legitimately nerfs almost the entire game in some way, shape, or form for your highest level players, right, is not going to take away the fun? Like that's mind-boggling to me that you just said, you sat around and said, everybody good with this patch? And everybody's like, nobody stood up and said, yeah, but we're going to have a lot of people, people who say this is not fun.
The main problem too is how it was set up, right? Like, I feel like, there's like 1% of 1% people that can go in and tackle like tier 100 nightmare dungeons, right? It's not even the people say the 1%, it's even less than that. Like, it's less than 1 in 100, right? So there's like a tiny fraction of people that can even attempt like 70, 80, 90, 100 tier nightmare dungeons, which is like 30% of the nightmare dungeons that are out there, right? My build, and I have 100 sorcerer, right? And like Steel has a character that's like right around 100. Jasper has one that's right around 100. And together, I think the highest we did was like a 65. I think something like that.
No, I think it was like 58. I don't think we went above 60.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we only did a 58. I thought we did a 60 or something though.
I don't think we did a 60.
No, maybe we failed it. I could have sworn. I don't know. But basically, what I'm getting at is like, there's all of those, right?
Yep.
And we had pretty stacked up built characters, and we had put a shit ton of time into Diablo, right? A shit ton of time into Diablo. Like, Pong was over 100 hours. I probably had like closer to 200 hours or more. And this is like pre-season 1 stuff. And I don't know how many hours I have, but I love a legit 100 level character where I can't do anything more other than armor, right? Finding better gear now, because there's no more stuff to do to get the character more powerful, and can't do a lot of stuff that's in the game because I'm not elite enough or understand the stats enough, or have spent 1,000 hours to be able to grind that gear enough to get the highest rolls on everything.
Even, like, do that stuff.
And it's just, you don't get it.
And it seems like the higher the power level, the worse the rolls are lately.
Right. So
yeah, they address that too as well.
So why make a change for the tiny fraction of people,
correct,
that can do that? You feel is breaking the game? Like, it just.
So what they're doing now is they're trying to bring tier 100 dungeons, nightmare dungeons, down to what a level 70 would feel like right now. So level 70s are going to be like what the old 100 is, essentially. They're just trying to balance it out. They want the Echo Lilith. They want everything to be about like as strong as the Echo Lilith.
Which that's
from
fine, but like, why nerf everybody if you already know that's a problem?
Because they're trying to keep players' engagement longer and just keep people playing it longer.
That's what we know. Ultimately, that was the goal. It was an overcorrect. They admitted why they did it was, and what they're going to do going forward is they address this specifically too. Is that if they make these adjustments again, they're going to allow classes to be overpowered for a while until they're not going to do a mass adjustment like this ever again. That they're going to allow some classes to be OP.
Yeah,
right. And then they'll slowly work it down. Right. They'll slowly work the other stuff down and then balance everything back out again instead of doing this. Right. That's what they said now is going forward.
Yeah.
So
I just, my problem with it is I just fear that they said that they're going to do a campfire before they like do the next patch, whatever. I'm just afraid that they're going to make like a fake patch notes that they are like
to see,
look, just to test people and be like, we're doing a 50% reduction so people will bitch about it, and then they just lower it to 40% like the next week once everyone bitches about it.
Yeah,
just so they can like overcorrect, because they're going to do shows before the patches before people can bitch about it. And it's like,
have you noticed a difference, Fuzz? You've been playing
a little bit, but then again, the biggest problem with the build I have, because I went for fun first as opposed to just going for meta. The fire build is crap. It like
that's broken to it's pointless to run anyway. To be honest with you, I mean,
sorcerer is just
unless you're doing it
shit.
for fun, right? But I mean, if you're to do it for like to get it the highest tier nightmare dungeons, all that kind of stuff, it's just like
it's a waste. And that's the thing that bums me out about this type of game. Like, at least in Division, like and I know totally different games, although they have
Yeah.
that looter and stats.
You just can't do the
aspect, but-
exploits, so it will ban you in Division.
No.
Yeah.
I've
He's
learned
lived
from
that.
that one, but they've got a lot of other exploits now as far as Division. But there was always other builds. You could do other hybrid builds. You could do a mix of 2 or 3 different builds. There wasn't a true meta. They made it so there's a lot of different things that, unless you're specifically going for the trolling or the griefing for PvP, which that they have a couple of metas for that, but everything else you could pretty much go all damage, glass cannon. You could go all not intelligence, but like the special effects or special talents and things like that, electronics. Or you could go with armor and just make it so you can tank everything, or you could do mixtures of all the above.
That's what they're trying to get to with this, is where you can mix builds, but it's going to be like so far down the road.
It's going to be a lot of time.
And that's where like nerfing doesn't make sense. It would make more sense to buff things up to where, if people are happy with Sorcerer being like the Ice Shard build, that's killer. That's the level that all of the other types should be. Like lightning, fire should all be at Ice Shard's level. So those need to be buffed. And then if you want to scale things back, you slowly do it until people are like, all right, wait, what's happening? I used to be able to clear this, level 60, nightmare dungeon. Now it's like 55s are giving me a problem. That's less of a pushback from the community, as opposed to, let's just nerf everything into the ground. Yeah, we knew these other builds were like just trash or toast or whatever, and they don't really do much damage or survivability.
They also said they want to rework nightmares, because right now the higher nightmares, it's just, if you get frozen, you're dead. So they're trying to limit the CCs, the crowd controls effects on you. But again, that's going to take time.
They understand the nightmare dungeons, especially the stuff that we talked about as we were running nightmare dungeon after nightmare dungeon, with the
like why we can do a 60 sometimes, and the next time you came to a 45.
Right.
Like,
they said they knew this. They knew a lot of the enemies were unfair, right? With the different aspects, right? That they had, like some of those enemies were like 4 different aspects, like just stupid. Like why? So they are working on that as well. But again, today they didn't go into a lot of the specifics. There's a lot of generalities. The chat, all the stuff that I just brought up, you can imagine how the chat took it. The chat, literally, you couldn't even see it. There was so many people in Twitch, and it was like, refund me, refund me, refund me, refund me. Diablo's dead. Diablo's dead. You guys suck. No apologies. What the hell is
That's
this?
That's a little extreme as well, right?
But it was nonstop capitalizations. People were highlighting. Like, there was like, oh my God, it was so bad. I just think at the end of the day, again, for me, this is still my game of the year. I still am impressed with what they did, how this game launched. It's still a good game. And I know I have faith. Steel doesn't have as much faith as I do, but I have faith that these devs will figure this out and will, it's going to take time. It might be a year from now. It might be 2 years from now. But I know eventually this game is going to evolve into something that is very well balanced. I believe that. I'm still having fun with it. Again, playing the new class, season 1. I kind of like the hearts. The hearts are kind of cool. We were talking about that last night. The hearts have some really incredible aspects to them that, like, Jasper, you said at one point, oh my God, this might be broken. Like, so I think that is a part of it as well, but I'm having a great time in season 1. I just have faith that they're going to take care of this. And
you can look at Diablo 3 when that game first came out. People fucking hated the auction house, and they were like complaining stuff. Eventually, that got taken away. They fixed that, and then like by the time like Diablo ended, like just a couple years ago, before season 4 came out, Diablo 4 came out, it's a completely different game from launch. Yeah, it's like
correct.
So just give it a couple years,
and I got plenty to play. Evolving. Yeah. Right. I'm not the Diablo guy who's playing, or girl who's playing every day. Right. That's different. Like, there are people who legitimately just play Diablo every single day. It's their game. Like, I understand those people are going to be extremely upset for a long time. Again, obviously, a lot of people nowadays, when social media hits, there's a lot of hate train that goes on. It's easy to hate. It's easy to complain all the time. Like Steele said, how many of these people complaining probably haven't even gotten to level 50 yet in this game, but are just seeing everybody else. So they're like, are you actually experiencing issues? Because most of the stuff, and it's legit, most of the stuff you wouldn't notice until you're high level. Like a lot of this stuff is for that end game. And that's so. I'm cool. I got plenty to play. I'll come and go as I please. I'll see how the changes come and go. I'm going to play season 1 hard. pause. I'm going to play it because I have the season pass and I used it. I was going to save it and then I accidentally used it because that was so convoluted. I accidentally activated it. So now I'm going to play season 1 a lot and finish it out. But then I'm going to be on Starfield. So, for me, I'm cool with it. I think it's worthy of discussion because it's another example of another dev kind of putting business in a lot of ways before fun. And like I said, there has to be always a balance. I say you should start with the fun and then work your way down to business, but we know that's not how a big game like Diablo, especially in 2023, operates. This is a money-making machine for them. So they're going to think business first, but they overcorrected on the business side of things instead of taking in consideration the fun, and they now realize it. And again,
I don't understand like how this happens, like time after time. Like big companies are like, you remove the fun and then people complain about it and they ask for refunds, they don't buy it and stuff. Whereas like games like they make fun their priority, like the new BattleBit game, they made fun their priority and it fucking had huge success. So if you make the fun, your game will be good and more people will buy it and spend money.
There's somebody in the background saying we need to make more monetization in this game.
Right.
That's where the problem is. So unfortunately, that's the person that's usually at the head of the table or in the corner office, and that just screws it up every time. Not saying that that's Rod. I doubt it's even Rod. I'm pretty sure it's probably Bob.
It's probably investors. You have to make so much money to
justify it. Oh, and
we need to make sure that people don't hit level 100 so they keep playing.
Right. We don't want that. We don't want people to feel the power, right? We don't want people to do that. We want them to keep grinding it out. They talked about they're going to adjust some loot rates. They're going to adjust some aspects. They're thinking of
they
new
got
ways.
A hot fix coming out tonight.
Right. They got a bunch of different stuff for that stuff, but they addressed the inventory slot problem, Mav, and they said, "Oh, we're going to give you one more tab."
One more tab. Great. Yeah. Woo! What about make it to where we don't have to fucking store our gems or
season 2
or 3, one of the two.
I don't know where it's 2 or 3. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Psycho. Fresh here from work. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good. Everybody was holding line, and I was on the front, battling out with the customers. So
nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was at the forefront. So there we go.
Got to sell more Funko Pops and Pokemon cards.
No, Series X's when they ask for PS5s.
No, you can't do that.
Yes,
Psycho.
I can.
Gotta remind them that Call of Duty is now available, or the lobbies are fixed and everything. So.
Call of Duty, MLB The Show, and Madden in 6 months. Easy sell. Series X is all day long.
Right on, bro. Anonymous boss hit us with a $5 super chat. Says, "What's up, Mav, Pong, Jasper, and Fuzzy, and now Psycho. Starfield coming. Watch out. P.S. Where are the magic cookies? They're in the other room, bro. Like I said, I'm gaming more in there right now, so that's where I keep my stash. You got to have my snack time here and there. But yeah, let's get into some other fun conversation, right?
PS5 Pro,
PS5 Pro,
Spider-Man, PS4 5.
There's the Spider-Man PS5. We could talk about that, but there's no point to because it's a PlayStation and this is the Xbox show. So let's talk about Xbox. Now, the CMA deal over there, the appeal was officially stayed now by the judge. So they have more time to work out the deal with the CMA in the UK. And also the FTC dropped their in-house hearing as well in their in-house case. So it seems like for now the FTC's done. They are in discussions as well with Microsoft. The CMA right now is in discussions with Microsoft. Those things should both be closed out in the next few weeks, maybe up. We anticipate by the end of August. Worst case scenario, it extends up till into September, or right before the new deadline in early October, right? That's the worst case scenario. So you're looking at a few months at worst case, but most likely here in the next maybe 6 weeks or so, right? Before Starfield comes out. And now that we're in this reality of, FTC CMA is working deals and just going to come to an agreement. it's fun to look ahead at Xbox and this new reality that we're about to be in. Xbox now with ABK. Now it's not official yet, but it's just a matter of time. Now we were talking about beforehand. We were talking about like the first 6 months of this year, then the next 6 months, and we kind of got into some discussions about franchises and stuff like that, and it kind of made me think about what does Xbox look like franchise-wise after this acquisition, with kind of where these franchises rank. You know what I mean? Because for a long time we've had Halo, Gears, Forza, right? Then they've had their historic great franchises like Fable that's coming back. You know, Perfect Dark is coming back, even though they've only made Perfect Dark Zero was the really only big Xbox release they had for that, besides the remaster of the original. And then Forza. Those are the kind of the big franchises for Xbox. They're like, forgive me if I mean Banjo Kazooie, you could maybe say that from the past. There's a lot of people that still ask for that. But then you start looking at it. Okay, now we got Bethesda Cinemax and Elder Scrolls. You know, you're gonna have Starfield, you have Fallout, you have Doom, Wolfenstein.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. And then now you add ABK. Talk about Call of Duty, StarCraft, the game we were shitting on the patch for a while, Diablo, World of Warcraft, or just Warcraft in general, right?
I think the biggest one is Candy Crush.
And then yeah, if you
audience.
add that side, you can talk about Candy Crush. So like, there's this new like world that we already are kind of living in, where Starfield is the biggest game they've released in a long time, and it's a new IP. And we're so used to this like Halo, Gears, Forza, Microsoft, and Xbox. Is that changing? Like the identity of Microsoft, like we talked before about this acquisition is transformational, right? To the Xbox brand. Now the Activision Blizzard side, a lot of multiplats there, so that can factor in as well. But for the identity of the Xbox brand, for what is going to bring people to the ecosystem, where do these franchises rank? Is Halo was undoubtedly number one.
The only one that can even be in this conversation right now. I feel like with Bethesda and Activision now, Halo's the only one that can compete with that. Well, and it's
if you're a racing game fan, you know Forza it holds a lot of weight, especially with the shit that they're putting out there from some of these other third parties right now. But all right, so let's look at this. Halo, is it going to be supplanted as the most important franchise on Xbox?
It already has been.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Now, what is Call of Duty after this
Sea of
acquisition?
Thieves is more important than Halo right now.
Sea of Thieves? Oh my god! Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Call of Duty overall.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
No.
So
when consoles are selling because of 360 games
but
being patched and fixed, because the lobbies are being patched and fixed, we working at GameStop, you don't know how many 360 Call of Duty games that I sold. There have been so many, and we've been getting so many transferred in. There's
really? There's like this actual resurgence.
There's
of
an insurgence of all these Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, 2. And I have not seen World at War yet, but those are the five right now that I've seen coming in shipped from the warehouse, because they're probably sitting on a lot. So now they're being shipped out to all these stores. And when I check them in, I see the quantity at my store and at other stores, and they're in double digits. And
yeah, give another 2 weeks, and
I'm selling.
I think this is kind of just a trend right now. To be honest,
I'm selling them as I get them in. So if it's a trend, it's gonna. It seems like it's gonna keep on going for a little bit. Because I got a lot of people asking, "Hey, you got 360s?" No. It's like, man, why is everyone buying these 360 games? I'm like, well, because you can play them on your Xbox Series X or S. They're like, cool. And
you
like,
can't
what?
play the disc on the Series S though.
I hope you're not selling.
No,
Series
no,
S.
no, not Series S.
Yeah, go put this
The
disc in
digital.
your Series S, man.
But yeah,
Where
so
does
Series
it go?
X, the Series X with the discs, and I got a lot of people like thinking about pondering now, should they buy a Series X to get in back into the the old school Call of Duty, because they like those games better than the new Modern Warfare 2 that came out. They rather play those old games, and since they fixed them, so it's this weird shift right now, and we'll see how long it lasts. If it's going to be an ongoing thing, or if, like Jasper said, it's going to be here and there.
It'll be a couple weeks and it's going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know.
It's interesting because like
it'll come back again when it comes into Game
Yeah.
Pass. as well.
Yeah,
There'll be another
there's going to be a
season.
huge surge then just for
Yep.
people diving back in. But
Correct.
Call of Duty, I mean, most important to the Xbox brand now. Like, is that the reality? Because it's a
I think-
multi-plat, right? Like,
Pretty much most of Activision Bethesda games are more important than what Xbox has been known for right now. Like
okay,
Halo, Gears,
so-
Forza, all of them are under what Activision titles are.
So what would be like? Are we? Is everybody in agreement then that Call of Duty is the most important brand, like the most important draw to Xbox? Then after this acquisition, is there any argument against that?
No.
Well, the only
That's
argument
so-
you could say is because it's still multi-plat, right?
Yeah.
That's the only argument.
That's the point I'm making. But does that matter
Right.
enough? Because the branding
No.
is
No.
No, because they're bringing that money in that they can reinvest back into the brand. So it helps keep them. I won't say it helps keep them afloat, but it's
Amit makes a good
definitely.
point. Minecraft is up there.
Oh yeah, Minecraft is still.
Yeah, and I'm selling Series X's because COD is now technically first party.
well, not yet.
Well,
but
it's
it will be.
because
Yeah,
it's
but
back
will be.
compatible.
It's
The people
gonna
do
be.
know.
So,
So-
all right. So Call of Duty, I'll put it top of the list. Somebody said Minecraft. Amit Kumar said Minecraft in the
Yeah.
chat.
There's an
It's
argument to
definitely
be
up
had for sure, but I think when we're talking about what it does for your brand, Minecraft.
Lives in
Yeah,
its
we
own
gotta-
world in a way.
We got to
Yeah.
talk about either brand identity
Yeah.
or like money for them. Like
Right.
money, Minecraft
Money,
is way up there, but
Minecraft
brand
is way-
identity, I don't know.
No, brand identity. I think Call of Duty is the bigger play here. I mean, by far.
Yeah.
Again,
It's weird how all of a sudden, like with this back compat thing that just happened, with it fixing the servers, and this resurgence of people playing back on Xbox now, with this acquisition almost coming to an end, to talk about Jim Ryan wanting to end the marketing rights, all of these different things. So much talk about Call of Duty in the news regarding Microsoft over the last year and a half. It already feels like, even before this acquisition is even closed, Call of Duty is now more associated again with Microsoft than it was PlayStation just 2 years ago. Like in the minds of gamers. Am I overstepping with that thought?
No,
Like,
because I've seen a lot of
No.
people that have moved on to PlayStation because that's where COD had its rights. They're coming back to a lot of YouTubers, they have both consoles, but they just play on PlayStation because that's where all
it's so
the
weird. Why do people
exclusive
care so
content
much?
is.
Because you can still play it on PlayStation. I
Yeah, I
know
know.
the
And-
old ones you can't.
Skins and
and I've
It's
seen
just
a
a
lot of
mental
YouTubers
thing,
come
like-
back to their Xboxes just to play the
'Cause of
older titles
content.
because that's where they're.
Because back in before COD used to get like zombie first and certain content before Xbox did DLC, so they got it early than Xbox, at least with the PS4 era, not so much with the Series X and the PS5. But now that then they were, they're not, you're not going to wait 2 weeks because you want to play an Xbox. They're going to go play on PS5 or PS4 because it came out sooner. So your viewers want to see, ooh, that new map pack I heard is coming out, and then it's already out. Here's someone playing it, and that whole branding of, it's
And
on
now that's
PlayStation.
switched. It's kind of switched to PC. What's called in the last few years was Warzone. When was Warzone come out?
Warzone, yeah.
That whole focus kind of switched to I got to play it on PC, and that's where COD's
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, PC gaming
growing.
is in a way is more associated with Microsoft, which is because and then
Why they wanted this
Turn-
deal too?
Xbox
Right?
as well.
And again, we can't forget mobile. See, Call of Duty is everywhere. In mobile,
Yeah.
since 2019, they just announced it's generated $3 billion.
Yeah,
So
I think
in 4 years, it's generated almost $1 billion a year for them. In Call
their
of Duty.
users, like they had a graph that the FTC leaked out or whatever. It's like 35 million plays mobile, 17 plays PC, 11 PS5, and 5 Xbox Series, whatever. So it's like
just all these people going back and getting these old CODs. It's like, it's in a way, it's like not only are they just getting Call of Duty to revisit, it's like they're coming back to Xbox in a way with that, so it's strange, man, already how much this is affecting things before this acquisition is even done now, but besides that, Call of Duty, I think we're pretty unanimous on that, right?
Yep.
So what's after that? Would you say Elder Scrolls?
Probably.
I think
Elder Scrolls or
Skyrim,
Fallout.
Was there another game that's as big as Skyrim, or it has sold as big as much as Skyrim besides like Call of Duty that Microsoft owns? Besides Minecraft,
I mean, there's
obviously
Overwatch has like
Minecraft,
35 million players or whatever.
Right, Overwatch.
Yeah, but they're
but Diablo.
I think they're shutting down the Overwatch League because they're paying. Yeah, they're paying Overwatch esport teams not to re-sign up.
Yeah, but it still has fucking 30 million players. So
no,
like
yeah, but I'm saying if you kill the esport, then a lot of the fan base is playing because it's popular and they can watch esport and it's like sports. But so I wonder how that's playing out there. If they're trying to, I wonder if Microsoft is trying to take MLG and either sell it off because they kind of don't want to deal with that and just deal with gaming. I don't know what they're trying to do because esports.
It's because esports is just a money pit. It's never been successful.
They're not making any decisions on that right now anyway. I think after Microsoft owns it, they could maybe reinvest in it, put Halo back in
Mixer,
big way.
Well, no, they have something else right now, something GG or something, which they mixed in with MSN. Yeah. So they have, it's not esports, but it centers around esports as far as news and whatnot. Yeah. So they have at least a marketing angle for it.
The thing about MLG is they don't really call it MLG now. There's just all these separate leagues. There's like the Overwatch League, the Call of Duty League, the all that kind of stuff. So it's be interesting. It depends on the games. I think if a new StarCraft comes out, that's going to be a big deal, right? And they're going to need to have an esports place for that game.
Oh yeah.
So
especially in Korea,
they got to have those considerations in their mind for future releases. I
mean, like Age of Empires 2 sells esports, but like no one cares. So
right. What? So all right, we got Call of Duty. Like, is it? I would say Elder Scrolls, second biggest franchise or most important for Xbox. Going forward. Now there's online now, and a lot of people may actually not agree with this because we haven't had a brand new single player Elder Scrolls game since Skyrim, but the next one that comes out, whatever Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a massive deal, right? I mean, we're already living in this world of how big Starfield is. That's a new IP.
I mean, they brought it up in the court case, so it's pretty big.
I think Elder Scrolls and Fallout are a tie
here. I don't know if Fallout's more popular than Elder Scrolls. Like,
I would say, I would say they're side by side. I mean, I'd probably give Elder Scrolls a little bit of an edge, maybe overall, with what Skyrim's done, because that's more recent, right? Whereas Fallout 4 had a massive launch, right? But not everybody agrees that Fallout 4 was the same as the Fallout.
Would y'all
3.
say,
but I would come side by side.
2 and 3 are Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too. Like those games are gonna probably be exclusive as well, and like marketing and draw for customers into the brand.
Right.
For those that already have this huge name recognition is going to be a big ass deal, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll put 2 and 3 unless we have any arguments against that for Elder Scrolls and Fallout, just kind of right there together.
You could argue maybe Halo, but again, Halo's been such a shit path the last couple of years that it's like, I don't know.
Now,
There's
Fence
a
still has that
chance
weight.
that Starfield could be bigger than either of those games too. Like,
it could,
you know,
it could,
like,
it could, but we just don't know. It's an
yeah,
unknown.
it's unknown.
Right now,
It's unproven, right? So,
Yep.
No, so still no love for Halo yet. Halo, can I put it here or
Not anymore, because after Infinite, with the lackluster of content, like the game itself, mechanic wise, it's great. Love it. Feels like old Halo, but they didn't have the content.
I think
They
the
didn't
interest has died?
and the seasons were too
Yeah.
freaking long, season 1 and 2, and it just snuffed out the hype for
Yeah,
it.
but so let's live in a world where we're thinking of they announced a new Halo game.
This is
But that's
subjective.
the
This is where I
problem.
was going to go.
That's the
You're right.
problem. Like, you
Right.
can't trust 343 anymore because they've
Right,
had
this-
so many letdowns.
This is subjective because what you're going to have is if they announced a brand new Halo, right? If they came out tomorrow and announced a brand new Halo, and alongside that, they also announced that Elder Scrolls 6, and they showed off Elder Scrolls. They've already announced it, but let's say they showed off like a trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. You're going to have the massive, what's remaining of once was a massive Halo fan base, right? Still fired up and excited. Like,
Yes.
let's go. Like the diehards are still going to be there for you day one if you
Yeah.
announce a new Halo. But talking about mass appeal, talking about worldwide appeal, if the Elder Scrolls 6, I still think would draw more. Like instantaneously.
It
I think
would.
Fallout would draw more over Halo
Yeah.
right now. Right now, where it stands. Not to say that Halo one day can't get back there. I've always said
It used to be unquestionably
could be.
like the biggest,
Yes.
one of the biggest
Yes.
things in gaming.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Well, it was
So-
under Bungie. It was,
But the attention
unquestionable.
wise, again, that's why this is subjective. Attention wise, I
Right.
just don't think it has that
Yeah.
draw.
And
I
we're
think-
not saying like necessarily what it means to you or
Right.
anybody personally. We're looking
Right.
at this from like the market perspective about how much certain brands are going to draw in people to the ecosystem
Mhm.
and associate with the brand. Now, I don't think there's ever going to be anything that is more associated with Xbox than Halo, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
20 years
Master
from now,
Chief will always be
people
the face.
think of Xbox, they think of Halo. I don't think
Master
that will
Chief.
ever change, but how many people pay attention to the brand because of Halo is something that has
I-
already changed, right?
I think if we get an insurgence of Halo, excitement for Halo, it's going to be certain affinities, whatever.
I
they're
don't
working
think
on.
if you put certain Infinity's name on, it's going to change. I think what has to happen is the next Halo game has to come out and be more than what people hoped it would be.
What if
because
you
we-
put
they've
id's
lost
name on it? What if you put
I don't
id's
think-
name on it?
The only
I don't
name you
think
could put on it
that
would be
will do it.
Bungie.
Yeah.
That's the only name you could put on it to bring
Yeah,
it back.
'cause
Like,
Halo and
if
Bungie
that
brand
ended,
name.
I mean, that's not going to happen because they're owned by
yeah,
Sony
no,
now.
but I'm just saying.
But like,
never.
if that
2
happened,
years.
though, that would like blow up, right? That would be.
I
crazy.
just think that Halo's
But they
like
won't do it.
eroded so much trust within the community that like they have to prove themselves again,
Yeah. But
and
I
they
think
have to launch a game, and then the next one would be.
But I do think certain affinity, if that game does well, it will spread like wildfire.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
holy
saying. They have to
shit,
be successful with
this
the next
is
game,
great.
and
And then they will ask for the next Halo game is going to be made by
Yeah.
certain affinity.
The thing about
That's what
certain
the community
affinity,
is going to say. They're gonna
no one knows certain Infinity's
They
name
don't-
though. That's the
right?
thing.
But then the
Yeah,
other thing is, I've already been
but if
heavily
it's
involved with
good-
Halo,
Yeah.
so it's not too much.
'Cause
to
they-
change, right?
Yeah, but if they see a good Halo game from certain affinity, they already took 343 as the last three Halos and not being that great. Like like Halo 4 had a good campaign, but bad multiplayer. And no, it was good
Halo 4's
multiplayer, bad
campaign was good.
campaign, and Halo 5 had it
Bad
was vice
campaign.
versa. Bad campaign, but good multiplayer. And that's what Halo Infinite was supposed to be. That's why there's so much hype for this. And then they stunk it up with the lack of content. The game itself was fine. The content, you made it out to games of a service pretty much, and you didn't have the service. And people were like, you know what? I'm not paying this kind of money. The experience wasn't that great. So people, the general population moved on, and they look at 343 and they're like, this is like 343 have not handled Halo well since Bungie. Because Bungie, when you talk about Halo 1, 2, and 3 and Reach, holy shit. It's those are like when you say
Yeah, they're held up on a
which-
pedestal, you know.
that is their favorite. Nothing that 343 has done. So Certain
I think
Affinity,
Halo
if they
4 is
do-
underrated personally
Yeah.
and underappreciated, but
Sure.
But if
the
Certain
masses.
Affinity pulls through and they make a decent game and it spreads like wildfire, then they possibly could get the hunger back into gamers, and Halo could be.
It's going to take
It's going to take a
2
while.
games at least.
But if they make the whatever they're making, either the fuck is whatever it's called, and if they make an actual campaign multiplayer game, and it's good too, then they're gonna be like that's the new home for Halo.
Yeah.
And 343, it won't look good for 343 if that's the case. It really won't.
we got a $5 super chat from Alvin. I appreciate you, Alvin. Says the 5 most acclaimed Nintendo games of all time are 3 Zeldas and 2 Metroids. Mario is still the face of the brand. That's why Halo is still for Xbox. I'm not disagreeing with the face of the brand necessarily. Like he's gonna be a mascot, but still have less relevance to bring people into the brand, right? Like, I think Master Chief is like heavily and will always be the most associated character with Xbox.
Yeah, there's going to be a fan base out there, but it's just
I think it's tough to say, but in a lot of ways, the old Halo, the time has passed on it as far as the industry goes. Not to say again, I still believe Halo as a franchise, as a name, could draw, but I think it has to be transformative, and I think it has to be an experience.
They got to go in
that is
kind of start from the ground up and
correct, do something different, and they would have to transform that franchise in. They would have to transform it. Period. Point blank. They would have to transform it in a way that reignited that passion again. Again, the core fan base will always be there. It will always be something they can go back to. The fact is just that its time has passed as the industry has moved on, and they would have to do something to bring it up to speed nowadays, something different, transformative that made it something where people were like, okay, I'm going to drop playing Call of Duty to go play Halo now, right? Or I'm going to drop Apex Legends to go play Halo now, or Fortnite, whatever you want to say. That's what they would have to do. And I think that's where it sits right now.
Yeah.
That's
it. Shout out to Hitman. Just gifted us 10 memberships, dude. Got the Hitman emoji.
Agent 47 is here. Put up all you members, put up that Hitman emoji in there.
Yeah. Appreciate the support.
Call of Duty, Skyrim, Fallout.
So Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, like it's one.
Yeah.
What's anybody have? Throw something out there. Another game. 10 more memberships, bro. Hitman's going crazy.
Hitman's coming back through again. Everybody, he's sniping. Let's go. Put those Hitman emojis up.
It draws people.
I want to say Forza, but it's more user base at this point with the games as a service.
Forza Horizon 5 did 20 million in the first 6 months, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know how many now.
5, wasn't it?
It's 25, but it's been climbing since then. It's probably closer to 30 at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy for a first party racing game.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 20 million in 2 weeks?
No, that was
it was like 18 or something within
18,
like a very short period of time.
Yeah, it was like
I think it was 10 within 2 weeks, and then it hit to 20
honestly
in
like
a few months.
Maybe Sea of Thieves is number 4.
You think Sea of Thieves is still popular enough?
I don't know. I mean,
where's Minecraft sit? Did we just exclude Minecraft from this list? Or
I just don't feel like Minecraft is associated with Xbox.
Yeah, you're right. People don't.
It's owned by Xbox, but I don't think people are like Minecraft is Xbox.
Yeah.
Whereas like Sea of Thieves, like it's kind of has to be.
Because I get asked by little kids like, "Hey, you got Minecraft for Switch? It's a Switch game, ain't it?" And I'm like,
They announced World of Warcraft for Xbox console exclusive.
But even that, I don't know if it would do it because World of Warcraft is so ingrained in the PC crowd.
It's a PC crowd. I know.
And that's the problem with the other Activision Blizzard titles is they have such a large PC draw that I don't know if you can associate that with Xbox.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree. I don't disagree with.
Unless you do
I
like
think
I'm
because
just trying
of
to
who the
think. I'm
audience
just
for
trying to
Minecraft
think.
is, they don't
Right.
care about any of that.
Right,
Yeah.
they don't care.
Right,
Right, right,
like-
right.
Yeah.
Doesn't
No.
matter.
They
Like-
take what their
but if-
parents buy them.
All right,
But if
so
we do like a spinoff of like StarCraft Ghost, let's say that you
A
can
spin-off
sort
of StarCraft Ghost.
no, a spinoff of StarCraft with Ghost. Sorry,
yeah,
Not,
I'm tired as fuck. All right,
not
so a
gonna
spinoff
do it.
of StarCraft with Ghost, then that could be associated with Xbox, like StarCraft
be.
Ghost. But
It could be.
we don't know.
But that's what I'm
how-
saying. As it stands now,
It's
we just
hard.
don't know how it's going to turn out, right? We
Yeah.
just don't know.
We're just
There's so many.
speculating.
We're speculating, right? We're speculating. That it's but as every franchise sits now,
World of Warcraft. What about
maybe
Warcraft?
maybe Halo slots in here.
What does
Yeah, I think
Diablo the
Halo's-
fourth most important?
No, it's still
No,
PC.
I think Halo
Yeah.
slots in here. I
You
mean,
think Halo slots in there?
Halo could be for.
Yeah, I mean,
A new Halo game announced. Is it what other game that they have? Okay, and here's how I'll gauge this. Okay,
it's too.
and here's how I'll gauge this: a new game announcement from any of these brands, any of these potentially Xbox owned or the ones that we already know they own brands, right?
Yep.
Announces a brand new game, AAA, huge deal, whatever. Which one is going to draw the most excitement?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you could say like a Diablo 5, just like for example, would probably get more views than a Halo announcement, but I think Halo announcement is more associated with the Xbox, is what you're.
Yeah.
So it's like,
because PC, they'll be excited for that. With Diablo, with StarCraft, with World of Warcraft, or just Warcraft in general. I mean, do we say Gears of War at some point?
Well, the
Is
Gears ain't going to be
i5
above
is,
Halo. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I still
No.
think
No, Halo's
yeah.
4.
Yeah.
What's
Okay,
and
so
then
are y'all
is-
fine with put Halo number 4 now behind
I
Call
would
of Duty,
say
Elder
so,
Scrolls, and
be-
Fallout?
to
Yeah.
represent the console? Yeah, I would say
Okay,
Brand
or the
recognition.
Xbox brand.
Brand
if you
recognition.
ask again in maybe 6 months, maybe Starfield fits there.
Yeah.
Where does Starfield sit? Like even right now,
I don't
like,
think
Who?
we can
so much
say
I
it.
don't think
It's
we can
hard to
say it.
guess.
Okay, well, we won't even include
I
it
don't
then.
it will be if it's a generational game that we think it is, it'll be number 2.
All right, so what about Doom?
Doom is below Halo.
Yeah.
Just below
Is
Halo.
Doom or Gears higher up?
Gears?
For
I still say
Xbox,
Gears.
A brand new
I
Doom game that's exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah. But
I think Doom would
has
be
always
higher.
been PC too.
Yeah, I think Doom might be higher than Gears.
Think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Doom's been around a lot longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Doom Eternal only sold like 3 million copies, 4 million copies, maybe.
Hey,
It'd be
Chad,
more than
look,
that.
somebody look
I
up
thought
the
it was
sales
closer
for
to
Doom
8,
Eternal.
wasn't it?
Is it? Maybe
I
I'm
thought it was
wrong.
8.
Maybe I'm wrong. So
Doom Eternal.
I mean, again, I don't
sales.
know if we have. I don't know if we have total.
I could have sworn it was
It
like
generated
8.
400. It said 450 million in revenue at one point. Like, I mean, so I suppose that might be close to. I mean, that was a $60 game.
That was 3 million digital copies at launch. It was
Okay.
where the 3 million number came. That's
Okay,
a lot of
okay.
digital copies
Okay.
at launch.
No, that's
Yeah.
a lot of digital copies. Again, it's hard to tell because we've never had full
Yeah.
stats on this shit. So
Yeah.
It said
Um,
Doom. Oh, that's Doom Eternal sold 5.1 million on Steam.
okay, all right. Well, if we're talking those kind of numbers, then I put Doom above Gears. That's fine. Because I was thinking
Yeah.
Doom is going to slot somewhere in here for sure. If they announced a new Doom game, where again for brand identity, it was console exclusive to Xbox. Yeah, I could see Doom slotting in for sure.
Yeah, Doom is that game that would probably bring not current Xbox players to Xbox more so than like announcing of Gear 6. Like Gear 6 would probably be more so for those that are already within the
already in.
ecosystem.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to draw as much. I mean, the game looks awesome, but I just don't see as many people talking about, I'm going to pick up an Xbox for that game kind of thing.
So
Doom, that's that game that people will, I won't say they'll ditch their PlayStation, but they'll definitely pick up at least a Series S or play on their $5,000 PC or something like that type of deal. But I think it edges it out just slightly, at least for now.
Here's my only argument. If Coalition, with Unreal Engine 5
Yeah.
sets the bar once again, and they take Gears back, right, to the
Yeah.
darker, the original trilogy, right? If they go way outside the box here and they take this story in a dark direction, they're going to keep the kids. Obviously, the whiny kids are still going to be there, right? Whatever. But if they take it back to that dark, gritty Gears, and like they can legit bring it back to that in Unreal Engine 5, we know they're the masters of it, so there's no question they will set the bar graphically for sure. Yet again, I really do believe that it's going to be between them and obviously Hellblade 2 for what's the best looking game on Xbox. I believe that. I think Gears will set that mark. So if they do that and they go back to the nostalgia and they grab the old Gears fans,
I think that's the problem, though, is like you're betting on them going back.
Right. And I'm saying we're in speculation town here, Jasper. I'm just saying that if they do that, though, and we've heard some rumblings now from some people that, hey, Gears 6 is going to top, it's going to do something here. And they can bring the multiplayer back, right? If they can do that complete package, I think could ultimately beat out Doom. Right. Yeah. I think that an importance for Xbox, because Gears definitely is obviously 100% associated with Xbox. Right. It has that draw. It has that name. It has that face of Marcus. Right. Everybody knows. So I do think they could pull it off. I guess if we're just talking about as it stands now, we don't think they're going to announce a new Doom game. So we're kind of going on a limb with that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. I think Gears has had such a downer the last couple games. It's kind of like that Halo thing. It's like Gears is one game away from, if Gears 6 hadn't hit, it's Halo Infinite all over again.
In the Xbox One generation kind of like was a downer, right?
Yeah.
So
they soured a lot of the good IPs that they had.
Yeah, Gears took a hit there. Halo took a hit there. Like a lot of the big franchises took a hit. The only one that really kept up was Forza. And they really increased the popularity in the Xbox One generation with the Horizon series, right? Really taking off.
Sorry, everybody. I was hitting my desk, so therefore it was vibrating the microphone. My bad.
Yeah,
I think Forza would be ahead of Gears at this point because of the Horizon series.
Yeah,
would it be above Doom?
I mean, if you go by player count,
players, possibly.
I mean, it's the biggest racing game in gaming. You know what I
mean? I would put Forza ahead of Doom.
Would you put it above Halo?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay. No, I'm not going to say that because it's still a racing genre.
So we have supplanted the Forza. I'll combine Horizon and Motorsport into one thing.
Yes.
Forza is a brand in itself,
correct,
right?
Yeah.
So
correct.
So you got Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Halo, Forza, Doom.
Yep.
Then Gears.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about Diablo? Where does it sit?
Spyro.
It's one of the biggest games
here. Let's
going
go.
right now. Like,
yeah, but I think it's still too PC focused. Like a lot of people don't care that it's like.
Yeah, you don't think
Xbox
it's going to be really associated with Xbox?
Not until next time if they make it console exclusive.
Yeah,
then we can start talking, right? But still, it would be PC.
10 years from now, it could have a huge impact, right?
Yeah, it could. Yes.
All right, so Gears is after Doom, I guess. This is becoming an interesting list here. So you got Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Halo, Forza, Doom, Gears. This is also telling you how fucking strong.
And I agree, Don Sicario. That's why I made the argument that Gears, for me, could still leapfrog Doom. Right? I agree.
Yeah. And Moot Kumar says Doom isn't as popular as Gears, Halo, or Forza. I would add, it's definitely not as popular as Halo as a brand.
Doom Eternal brought it to another level.
Yeah, it elevated it. Gears, I would say it's probably pretty even. Maybe I could be wrong.
2016 was like the resurgence for Doom. That's before Eternal. 2016 was like, oh wow, this game is like 60 frames and high res and it was successful on console and PC. And then Eternal, I think, did even bigger numbers.
I'm trying to put my mind if they're okay. Let's say Gears 6 and Doom, whatever they call it, the next one are both announced on the same day. What's going to draw more excitement?
Again,
I
depending
think
on
Gears
what they
would
show,
for
Gears would.
would for the Xbox
For the
fans,
Xbox brand,
but
Gears would.
but
I'm
for the
gonna put-
Xbox fans. But I think Doom in general for more people would be more excitement.
Bro, if
I'm gonna
like I
put a
said,
poll.
if
I'm gonna
if
put a poll. This is a
coalition,
tough one.
if
Well, you're in a
coalition,
fucking Xbox podcast.
right, but I'm just saying I'm saying even for the masses, if coalition showed up with a nostalgia-ridden, old school looking Gears that was an Unreal Engine 5, and they showed off the multiplayer and it looked like old multiplayer Gears, I'm telling you, Gears potentially could have more draw. I mean, even overall, Gears is still a gigantic franchise. Like if you weren't around during 360 when Gears dropped,
I think part of this is also an age thing.
yes.
Because for a lot of us that grew up with Doom in the early 90s and stuff like that, I think Doom hits differently as a franchise than people that started playing games more in the 360 era.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
influential still, there's no question. I mean, again, if you want to go back, Doom did change a lot of things though too as well. But influential wise, yeah, but that's not what we're talking about, Steel.
But this
we're
is a
talking
good problem for
the
Xbox
brand.
to have because they got
brand
both
identity,
of them, right? You know?
Yes, correct. I think we're very close on both of them together for brand identity.
Yeah, I just have a hard time picking the spot here, you know, for either one. And it still feels weird to have Forza above either of those, but I do think it's the more influential brand.
For the brand identity, yeah, Forza.
Yeah. So, all right. So, man, what's next? Is there another Bethesda franchise we're not thinking about, or
Wolfenstein?
But that's lower than Doom.
Yeah. What about Sea of Thieves? Like Jasper really wants to put that up there.
I'm like, people associate that with Xbox, and they show it off every fucking year.
Correct,
like
they
4
do.
times.
You're
So
not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's like adult Minecraft kind of.
How many people play Sea of Thieves still?
A lot.
What's the player count like ongoing for
Steam
Sea of
charts.
Thieves?
Didn't they just have 10 million concurrent players?
Well, whenever they drop a new round, which they just did, it does, obviously go wild for a while.
Yeah, this was kind of a like random idea for the show, with the light
Last
news week. But I'm
24-hour
having
peak
fun
was
with this.
18,000 for Sea of Thieves on Steam.
Yeah, that's just Steam though.
Alvin says
that
that
doesn't count
Fable is
Xbox,
over
so.
half the list so far.
Fable? I mean, it's been gone for too long though.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard to very hard to say because
it made a strong showing.
There's a
at
lot
the
of people out there that don't even know what it is.
Exactly. Like any if people that were not around for the 360 era, they're not going to be like, what's Fable? Is that a storybook?
But I agree. After this new Fable releases eventually,
yes,
it could be like number 4, 3, or 5. Like it could be up there for sure.
Just like Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark could reignite. Like again,
and we'll put them on there here somewhere. I think because we're getting close to that spot. Maybe Fables this is where it should go. Would you say Fable's bigger and more important to the brand of Xbox than Sea of Thieves?
No, not as of today. Now.
Yeah. It could be more important in the long term.
Yes,
but I would say Sea of Thieves is the higher draw at the minute. The closer we get to an announcement of Fable, then I think that's when things may flip.
I think it's crazy to think this though, because the state that Sea of Thieves launched in, right?
Yeah,
and how they've built this up over the years to where it's such a big, important game for them, right? Like,
I mean, they're putting licensed IP in their DLC, so it's a big enough following. Did we find out how many concurrent players they had?
You can't get Xbox user numbers.
No,
and that's where
I thought they made an announcement. There were 10 million players on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
they do that kind of shit.
Well,
they've
done
done
that for State of
like
Decay
before.
too, right? So State of Decay is the same thing. We've heard what.
State of Decay was
like a million zombies killed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they do say that kind of shit here and there.
Yeah,
on Steam, the average the last 30 days, is around I think 11,811.
We got to see what.
Yeah, but like
DLC.
That's in Game Pass on PC, so you can't see those numbers. You can't see Xbox numbers, and it's like people have to buy it on Steam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't include Game Pass, any of the Game Pass
Yeah.
players. Which
Yeah,
is
I mean,
gonna be the majority,
see if
probably.
these reach 25 million players as of 2021 October up, right? That have played
Okay.
at one point or another, right? So
Anytime there's a big expansion, like my daughter and her
Yes.
friends all just run to Sea of Thieves. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't play
Yeah.
it like constantly, but I know there's a lot of people that still play like daily. It's like their only game they play.
yeah.
So okay, fair enough. Sea of Thieves, huge IP, massive, All right.
yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
massive, popular, millions of players franchise. So what's after that? Let's see.
Minecraft or yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah, we're
like
not gonna
if we
count
like
Minecraft.
Minecraft's a tricky one because if we really like took it for what it is, it would be number
It's
one.
like number
but
two or
but
one,
people don't really like associate it with Xbox still, right? Like it's
Yeah. I mean, because
almost like its
they
own
kind of
entity.
don't put their name because Xbox doesn't push it as a first party exclusive.
they
Or
have
first party.
Minecraft stuff at all their shows usually, but like it's
Yeah.
it's
they
still
don't.
like the I think the audience for Minecraft doesn't give a shit about
I think
about what
they
it's
still
like.
think
It's
it's
gonna be on mobile. It's
third-
gonna be on everything. It doesn't
third party.
matter, right? And like
yeah.
Call of Duty's different in a way, even though it's gonna be on everything still. Like the home of it has an impact on players, right?
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
oh man, this is getting tough, guys. It's
Yeah,
getting-
because there's a lot of unknowns in here, right? There's a lot.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
yeah.
What
Yeah,
if
some
So like
point, yeah.
Fable, Perfect Dark, like it's like
Those
Fable's-
are hard to place because you just don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could
same
put
thing
those
with
all in the
Starfield.
same place. Kind of, I would put Fable above Perfect Dark for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Well,
Fable
yeah, yeah,
above
yeah.
Perfect Dark, but I think Hellblade goes above Fable.
Mhm.
Oh, Hellblade.
Only because
Yeah.
because it even though it's
Right now it does for sure, but I think in the like once Fable comes out, I don't think people.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
there's
probably
more
flip, but
A player
it's like
base
that outside draw thing.
familiar.
Yeah.
I think it's going to bring some people in.
There's unknowns like
least-
Clockwork Revolution could be a big
Correct.
deal. You have Avowed could end up being a big deal. Outer Worlds could
Outer
end
Worlds.
up being even a bigger deal than it is now.
Yep.
as well.
Flight Sim.
You got okay. So what about Dishonored?
Age of Empires,
Say Age of Empires. I don't really feel like. I mean, it's starting to become more associated with Xbox,
but it's PC. It's PC.
right.
it's
But it's
PC.
always been more associated with PC. But I think that association
Dishonored.
is just
Same thing
starting
with
more.
Flight Sim, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
see, the-
RTS and it's just
like-
a niche community that
Correct.
Like Dishonored.
I mean, but Phil did mention that there's a
Yeah.
lot of players on it, right? So
Yeah.
on console,
Yeah.
so it is a thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's been
Right.
growing. That association's growing.
Correct. Correct.
Flight Sim.
Yeah.
But well,
I think
it's
it's-
Microsoft Flight Sim,
Yeah.
but that's PC though. That's been
Right.
PC since it started, so it's you can't really.
Well,
Like
this new
Dishonored,
one-
Prey is like one. Those two games are like.
Is
popularity.
Redfall slot in here?
Stop it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're
Maybe-
missing something big,
yeah, I do too. It's like
and I
people
don't
want to say Psychonauts, but it's like no.
Yeah, there's something that we're not thinking of that's like a big, obvious, like dumbass thing for some reason that we're not.
Are you being serious, or do you have something in mind? Like which way?
No, I feel like there's something that should be here that we've just completely skipped over, and I don't know what it is.
Huh.
There's not. Like there's a lot of unknown. Like I said, Wolfenstein. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, if they announced a new Wolfenstein tomorrow, it would be huge. I mean, again,
Psycho,
Wolfenstein's got its
do you
own
have
name.
one of those like background things where it has like the 3,000 fucking Xbox characters on it now that you can bring up?
I mean, we've got Crash,
Yeah.
we've got Spyro coming in, I mean, we've got
Okay.
Sekiro.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that gonna? Where does that sit?
I think Crash is
It's-
bigger than Banjo, Spyro, all of them.
Yeah, is
Yeah,
it-
Crash above those.
Yeah.
I just don't know where to put. It's like everything after Sea of Thieves is kind of like the same spot, either unknown because like the game hasn't come out yet, and like it's been a dormant IP that's been dormant for too long, right? I feel like this should be Fable. Is there another?
Fable def-
If we're to put the besides Starfield, all the ones that have been announced that haven't come out yet, that we're all waiting for, is there one of them that's bigger than Fable?
I the only one I would say is Hellblade currently, but it's only because of it having that certain look, like that single player, third person over the shoulder narrative type of deal that just won, hashtag just won. That I think, at least in the meantime, is the bigger one. But I think once people get to see more of Fable,
Yeah.
like Jasper was saying before, I think it winds up flipping where Fable will place higher on the list. But I think, at least in the short term, because everybody is like more anxious about, I wanted to see combat of, Hellblade 2. And I think with Fable, people are still in denial that was, partial gameplay or whatnot, as far as like the fireball and the takedown and stuff like that. So
Right.
I think there's a sense of disbelief. So
Crackdown.
no.
Crackdown.
I was thinking Killer Instinct at some point, but that like it would be.
It shows how many of their IP
raiser
they've been
if it was announced
squandering.
tomorrow.
It shows how many of their IP they've been squandering for so long because they've been dormant, and it's like they should be that important, but without any kind of proof of what it is now, it's hard to put them this high up on a list, right? So it's like I see the chat saying Grounded and stuff like that, and that's a huge game. It's very popular. State of Decay is also popular. I put Grounded above State of Decay in popularity right now still, but State of Decay 3 comes out. It's gonna be a big deal,
Yeah.
I think Outer Worlds winds up being above, or Outer Worlds 2 winds up being above Grounded, I think.
I think the only one that I'm like seeing that I can think of right now that could maybe take Fable's place where you're putting it is Psychonauts. Honestly, like if they announce a Psychonauts 3, like
Fable's bigger.
I think that could.
Fable's bigger.
Yeah, I would say Fable's bigger.
The old school Fable fans would definitely the nostalgia, because Fable 360, that's the thing. The 360 generation with a lot of those games were very, if that list came out then, Fable will be a different position than where it is now. So it's one of those things like we have to wait for the like some of these games to come out to really gauge
it's hard to rank
where
them.
the popularity is and how you associate the actual characters, and is it Xbox or whatnot. So it's one of those things like,
I mean,
it's you can put it in like the bottom half of to be determined.
The thing is too, I feel like if we're gonna have Fable there, I know it's an existing IP that's been part of Xbox for a long time, but like people are more excited for
Callie brought
Starfield.
up Ori. Ori 3 would be
Ori would be huge. Are we making a mistake by not
but
including
it won't
Starfield?
be bigger, but would not be bigger. Well, see,
I mean, if we were going to include all these games that like we think are going to be big, like Starfield would also be at the top. Fable would probably be like number 6.
Yeah, the top 5 would be totally changed.
Yeah,
I see we're talking about this because I was just thinking about it while I was away. Starfield should be included because of what it's already done for Xbox.
So where does it rank though? Where do we slot it? Do we slot it above Halo or below Halo?
For right now,
above
Halo.
Snapshot.
Okay,
popularity, Halo. It's more popular than Halo
for brand identity, for brand awareness, for draw. Starfield right now because it's unknown. Now, if it comes out and it's absolutely terrible, then it's going to be a negative, right? Then it's going to be oh my god, like it's going to hurt.
Starfield would be number 2. Then I think Call of Duty's still bigger.
No, I think Elder Scrolls is number 2 still.
I think Elder Scrolls as a known IP. Yes.
I mean, there's a huge player base still with the Elder Scrolls Online. The next Elder Scrolls that comes out, it's going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah, I would argue it just falls right below Fallout, right in there. But
okay, I would put it below Fallout because it's unproven, like Fallout and Elder Scrolls is.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So 3 of these are Todd Howard. 3 of the top 4 are Todd Howard.
Bethesda, bro. That's why I wouldn't got him.
That shows how big of a deal that is.
Yeah.
My God. All right. And then there's Halo, Forza, Doom, Gears, Sea of Thieves. We went ahead and slotted Fable, but like Fable should be higher on this list if we take that into account, right? I mean, we all have a lot of confidence in this game.
Like I want to
Fable-
say Fable would be above Halo, but like I also want to say it's below just because I love Halo so much. So it's like
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
should be right below Forza and above Doom.
I'm not going
Yeah,
to
it could go
disagree.
below Forza.
I think right below Forza, above Doom.
I think Doom might still beat it.
I think Doom might beat Fable for popularity.
Yeah,
Gears beats
Gears beats Fable.
Gears
Yeah.
would beat it. Yeah,
Gears would beat it too. Yeah,
It's,
but-
Fable's where it should be.
No one's getting a Fable tattoo. You
well,
got
Fable's
Gears
where
of
it should
War
be.
tattoos.
I agree. All right.
Oh, there are people out there with Fable tattoos. All right,
Not as many as Gears.
no.
Okay. So, do we put slot Hellblade 2 after Fable or Perfect Dark? Or
I think
Per-
Hellblade
I-
right
I
this minute
wouldn't-
is above
not
Fable.
Perfect
Yeah,
Dark,
Hellblade's
no.
above Fable right now. When Fable comes out, then it flips.
okay.
Good flip.
So I'll put Hellblade after Hellblade's after Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
does Grounded sit? After
It's like-
Fable? Or way
Yeah.
way lower? Or
It's
I don't think
after
people really
Fable,
Care
but
about
I
that.
I still think
on Xbox though.
yeah, because
No
what do you
one's,
call it?
like-
Avowed is above it, and
Yeah.
what do you call it? The planet one. What is it? The Outer Worlds 2 would be
Yeah.
above it as well.
the poll was extremely close actually. At a 76 votes, 44% for Doom and 55% for Gears.
Match.
If you take
match
into
stuff.
account that this is an Xbox podcast chat, that's
Yeah.
probably swayed about 20%. So I'm gonna stick with my Doom was slightly more popular than Gears thing. I don't know. It's hard to say. Chris Jones with $2 says Avowed has done some for Xbox too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
it has. I would put
That is
that
exciting.
in Clockwork Revolution and
yeah,
like
they're all in
right.
the same boat.
you know, kind of all in the same boat, like unproven quantities. They could turn into a Redfall, or they could turn into
Clock-
like
I'll be
a
honest.
huge
Clockwork
IP.
Revolution looks like it could be the next big franchise.
It could be.
It
It
could be
could.
the next big RPG.
Yeah.
It'll be up there with
It could
Starfield.
be the next what do you
Just
call
from
it?
the little bit we saw. The next-
BioShock. Its
but
popularity.
RPG. But RPG, yes,
Yes.
exactly, which means even more than what a Bioshock.
I think Clockwork
Correct.
Revolution is going to be bigger than Avowed.
Yes, as it stands right now, I would put money on Clockwork Revolution.
Okay, so let's start a little side tangent here. Out of these
which
other
is
games.
crazy for me to say, but again, because Obsidian and how damn good they are, I have the utmost faith that Avowed is going to be incredible, story wise, character wise, narration, all of that. But I just think Clockwork Revolution is going to bring something different that
I
we've
think
never
I
seen.
think Clockwork
and-
has the potential to be a bigger
Yes.
game, where I think Avowed can like be a lasting game. Like if
correct, it could
if
be.
Clockwork is like a big surprise, a big game. Like I
Yep.
think it could overcome that, but right now I think Avowed is still like almost like more of a guarantee that it's
It is more guaranteed
Yeah.
because who's making it and because NXL. But again, knowing NXL like I do, like I have the utmost faith. So I give Clockwork a little extra too, because I know NXL can write and create and create worlds just
Yeah.
as well as Obsidian does. They just never have done it to this level before. Like
Yeah.
as far as the production value goes. So therefore that's the unknown. But again, because it's bringing something different that we don't see all the time, I think that's why it's got even more potential in Avowed overall. But yes, you're right, Jasper. Avowed is the safer draw right now.
Yeah. It could sneak in and be one of those games you're like, holy crap. Like you gotta play if you have an Xbox or Game Pass, you need to play this.
it could be like BioShock at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
could be the same what
Yeah.
Bioshock
Yeah.
did for the Xbox 360 could be the same with Clockwork.
Exactly.
That's
So-
the potential.
on the I'm gonna make a side tangent list of these like new games, right? Because I
To
think they're all in
be
the same category.
determined.
Right, two TBDs, right?
Yeah.
We got Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Starfield, Halo, Forza, Doom, Gears, Sea of Thieves, Hellblade, right? Wolfenstein
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
It has a big fan base.
Yes. Yes. It
Yeah.
has nostalgia. It has a big fan base. Yes, the last game was not good.
That was
Yeah.
that was lumped in with the
Youngblood.
Fallout 76 monetization
Oh,
aspect.
yeah.
Yep, correct. Youngbloods was not good, but I
No.
think a new Wolfenstein announced in the old formula, yes, it would be a big draw for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had Wolfenstein. Now I'm kind of in this thought process between Grounded and State of Decay, and which one is like more important?
State of Decay has a bigger.
I think it has a bigger Xbox identity. I think Grounded is just kind of like, oh, it's grounded.
Grounded
is
is
definitely
more of a-
identified, but it's
Yeah.
it's newer, so it's more
Yeah.
shiny.
What
right?
what has
More
a
shiny.
Are
bigger
they
fan
at
base?
25 mil yet, or are they like somewhere still in the 15+ range?
I'm pretty sure more people play Grounded than State of Decay.
You think?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so.
Probably
At this
yeah.
point, yeah.
Well, it's a newer game too, though.
Yeah,
Right.
correct. Right.
Yeah.
I just don't think State of Decay's ever like had eyes on it.
It's like I think they celebrated over 10 million players recently.
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
Which Grounded did that in a shorter amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah, the guy got the tattoo or something, a burgle.
Okay, so fair enough. But there's also a big State of Decay game coming out, right? So and Grounded may never get a new game. It may just keep being what it is. So what's more important to
The
draw
potential
people in?
of the potential of State of Decay 3, if it delivers on that CGI trailer, that would probably bump it up to like Hellblade level as far as on that list. But it's still that kind of we got to see more kind of thing. So it
Yeah.
put that on the TBD for State of Decay 3 somewhere.
Well, I'm not going to put State of Decay on the TBD list.
Well, that's
yet,
right, because
but-
it's already
yeah, it's already
quantity.
an ongoing proven thing right now. You know.
Yeah, Grounded hit 10 million in
2022.
February of 2022.
Oh fuck, 20 million.
10.
10.
Oh, okay. You just
10.
said. I thought you just said 20. Okay.
That's it.
No, 10 in 2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah.
I was like, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, for the sake of the fact that there is a State of Decay 3 that's coming that has some hype behind it, I think that kind of elevates it a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Because all the
Yeah, I
marketing
think
that's
it's
going to be
it's
happening and all that
more
kind of stuff.
it's more just like Xbox
Yes.
forward, whereas I think a lot of people play Grounded, but like you never like hear people like really talking about Grounded. It's
Yeah.
just like it's
Except
a thing.
Colt Eastwood and his kid.
Why is
Yeah.
Jasper glowing? Why is
It's because
Jasper
I pulled up
glowing?
Google because I was looking up the games.
All right. So Call of Duty, Elder
Jeez.
Scrolls, Fallout,
I know it's
Starfield,
white, bro.
Like you're being abducted.
Halo, Forza, Doom, Gears, Sea of Thieves, Hellblade, Wolfenstein, State of Decay, Grounded. This is shaping up pretty good so
Yeah,
far.
State of Decay top 10 million as well.
Right.
But it took a long time for it to do that.
It did.
Yeah.
It took a very long time. Correct.
All right, so man,
With 2.6 billion zombies killed.
where's Everwild fall? That's going to be on the major TBD list.
That's
Uh,
even when it comes out, it's
no,
still
it-
going to be TBD.
Did you have Outer Worlds on there?
no, I don't, but it's kind of more of a proven thing right now. But I don't know how much. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I don't know how much excitement there is for Outer Worlds 2.
I mean, everybody's looking to Avowed first, right?
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
why. That's kind of why. But there
I-
is a
I think-
big
I mean,
fan
there's a-
base out
Outer Worlds was a great game, you know.
Yeah.
But I
think
just
it
don't
will
get. I
rank
just
higher
don't
than
sense
Avowed at some
out there a lot of hype around 2 right now because we haven't seen anything. Maybe I don't know.
The
We
first
know
one
it's
sold
further.
4 million by 2021. So not bad.
Well, which is also
Uh,
like that was a smaller budget at the time. By Private Division was the publisher, which was a indie publisher branch off of 2K or Take Two, right? So it was kind of like, oh, who's this? And Obsidian game, cool. We'll pay attention to it. Wow, this is a really cool RPG. Now it's a franchise that they're
Would Hi-Fi be above that?
Oh, Hi-Fi Rush, bro. Oh man, you just threw a monkey wrench here. Now the player
Hi-Fi
base,
is definitely overgrounded.
but it hasn't sold anywhere near as much.
No.
Well, no,
Not
because
even
it came
close.
straight into Game Pass.
Well, yeah, not. I don't
Right.
even care about sales, but total players.
Total
I don't
players,
think it's
way lower than Grounded, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
identity wise, like that brain awareness of like, hey, this is Xbox. It's a
Well,
very
it is identified.
highly-
still haven't capitalized on it. They should be announcing an anime. They
Yeah.
should be announcing a
Yeah.
bunch
No,
of stuff, and
exactly.
they're not. They've
Yeah,
done
where's
the
the
expansion,
plushie?
which is great. Yeah, where's the
Yeah,
plushies?
that's the one
Yeah,
I think I was missing. Buzz.
like
I was just trying to
808
think of like games like we got Evil Within. We haven't brought
Yep.
up.
Correct.
Yeah,
There's older like
Ghostwire,
Xbox
Deathloop.
stuff too.
What about Conquer?
Well, I mean, there's Prey,
Just
Dishonored. We got to
yeah.
bring in Dishonored.
I'm
At some
gonna put
point,
Evil
Dishonored
Within,
is
Prey,
definitely up.
Dishonored, all that shit in the same like box.
Right.
I mean,
down.
it's great, good games, right? But like,
Mhm.
they're
Tokyo Ghostwire has got to be in there somewhere too.
Deathloop.
As well, now Deathloop has got to be in there. That was critically acclaimed, up for Game of the Year. I know a lot of people
Yeah.
love to say, "I hate that game." I don't know what everybody was talking about, but let's be real, it was critically acclaimed. It drew a lot of people in. I mean,
here's another
I
one
enjoyed it.
that I kind of have forgot about is Indiana Jones.
yeah, I was gonna just
Yeah.
talk about that one. I was gonna say is that you're on your TBD list. I was just gonna.
Yeah, it's got to, but it's Indiana Jones, so it's still
But it's
like
Indiana
relevant IP, right?
Yeah,
But,
and
like,
also like it's not really people
Comes
don't
Jasper.
care that it's
Jasper.
Xbox.
Only you old guys.
they will because it's going to be exclusive. And
Yeah.
having that's what the Spider-Man does for PlayStation. People care about that on PlayStation because it's exclusive, right?
and,
Like,
and Machine Games is proven as well.
so
You
I
gotta
think
know your
Indiana
number.
Jones being exclusive makes it a pretty damn impact with the kind of IP that it is, and maybe not as much
They
as
estimate-
Spider-Man.
They
you know?
estimated 10 million sales on PlayStation.
Yeah.
We got that from the court document. I don't know where that number came from, Xbox. I have no idea, but okay.
Okay, so there's the TBD list.
Yeah.
All right, so
They probably took
TBD.
Spider-Man's
I'll
number and
put
say, cut it in half.
does
Yeah, right.
on TBD list. Does Fable go on top?
Yes.
Or
For right now,
Perfect
you-
I mean, what
Dark?
else?
I mean,
what
unless
else?
if you're not if you're not putting Starfield on there, then yeah,
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones or Fable is top.
Fable.
Fable.
Fable. I think Fable over Indiana
Fable.
Jones.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it was two: Indiana Jones or Perfect Dark or
What else do we have? Do we have Clockwork Revolution in there, or do we put that?
oof.
See, because Clockwork Revolution to me is up there.
I think Indiana Jones is more important though for the brand, like overall with marketing and stuff.
Assuming they're going to do it right.
It's a
Assuming
tough
they're going to
one,
do it
because I-
right, but this is Bethesda.
I think
Is
like
it-
if we're going this route, then like Quake, whenever that comes back, would be
Right,
fucking
right,
huge.
correct. We got to have Quake.
Yeah,
in
but
there.
Doom is like bigger than Quake.
Yeah, that's because it's been more relevant. But Quake,
But it's still
was
gotta be on the
bigger
list.
Even
before,
even
I
in
would
the
say.
'90s, though, Doom was bigger than Quake.
No,
No?
Quake was
Maybe on
no.
Quake was
Quake,
fucking huge.
Quake was
Yeah,
Quake was like what Fortnite is now back then.
right,
Yeah.
and especially in the competitive shooter scene.
Yeah, like it was
you're
that
right.
and
It
Unreal
is called
Tournament,
Quake
like-
Con, not
Yeah.
Doom Con, right?
Yeah.
True.
correct.
You know, that's a good point. So Quake could end up, but that'll be on the TBD. So okay, so TBD Fables on top.
Mhm.
Then where do we put? Where do we slot Indiana Jones, Perfect Dark, and Quake, and Clockwork Revolution?
I think Clockwork Revolution is a very close second, if not above Fable. Its potential
It's
because of
generating
its
that much hype
comparison.
already.
I think because of its
I think
comparison.
Fable's more than Clockwork.
Fable's more than Clockwork, but I
Yeah.
would say that Clockwork's right there
Yeah.
in second place. I would slot it second.
Okay.
I would. Just the buzz it generated after it was showing off, the
Okay.
talk around it, all that kind of stuff. Again, had Perfect Dark showing off something that was actual gameplay that we could have seen. Maybe Perfect Dark jumps up there, but I think right now, just because of what we saw, Clockwork is there.
Honestly, I think Quake would be above Fable. Like I think Quake's.
But we
probably
haven't
number
even had
one
a
on
new
that too.
Quake game announced yet.
That's the thing though. Like Quake though is like they announced Quake 5, the fucking internet explodes.
Yeah, but is that too much of a TBD to not even have a
Right,
game
that's
announcement?
the same, like that's StarCraft. So StarCraft
Yeah.
would have to be thrown in there as well. 'cause
Right.
StarCraft-
I mean,
or
if
something
we're
along
including
the lines
games
of,
that
like,
could potentially actually
Half-Life 3.
like
Yeah.
come back one day, then we can go down a deep ass well for Microsoft
yeah.
and all of
Right.
these things, right?
Right,
like,
right.
so just for the sake of this, like, I'm
Killer
not going to put
Instinct would
Quake
be
in
on
there,
that
but I
list.
agree.
Yeah, Killer Instinct would be on that list as well.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct's got to be somewhere.
Like the dormant
But
fucking
IP.
pile of IP, like, is just crazy, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So Fable, Clockwork Revolution, The Perfect Dark after that, or what about like, man, it's tough. It's
Hmm.
tough. I think we're coming
Tough when
to
you're
it.
down
Like South of Midnight.
Yeah, South of Midnight's
South of
also
Midnight.
there.
State of Decay 3, but we included State of Decay on the other things. So
Yeah, we did. We did.
What about like Contraband? Is like there's nobody talking about it really.
Yeah,
to be
no,
honest,
yeah,
you know.
I would say that's under Indiana Jones right now.
for sure.
Yeah, Indiana Jones has got to be up here, bro. Like Like,
Yeah, it's up
Definitely
there.
above.
It's up
Like,
there. For
it's-
sure,
it's
100%.
Indiana
Because if they
fucking
pull it
Jones.
off right, it could be big. It's gigantic. Everybody loves
Okay.
Tomb Raider games. Everybody loves Uncharted games. If Indiana Jones comes in there and fills that slot, it could be big.
Yeah,
mean,
I
it
only
really
want to
could.
fill the TBDs up with massive potential, right?
Right. Correct.
So I got Fable, Clockwork Revolution, Indiana Jones, Perfect Dark, Avowed next,
About
or before Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
I would say
I think
Avowed.
it's
I would say
Avowed
Avowed
over.
Perfect.
Yeah. over
Above.
Perfect Dark.
Above, because we know more about Avowed and everybody loves the
Okay.
city. And I
Now,
still
if
think
Perfect
Avowed-
Dark winds up looking kind of like that unrecord with that body cam thing,
right. Well, yeah, if it looks like that, okay, we're on another level.
Fable,
we are in
Clockwork Revolution,
quadruple
Indiana
A
Jones,
status
Avowed,
there.
Perfect Dark. Okay, so what about then other announced games from there's a lot of unannounced stuff from Bethesda ZeniMax. We just don't know a lot of what they're working on right now. ABK. We didn't even touch on Overwatch. We didn't, which is the point of this. We didn't touch on Overwatch. We didn't touch on Warcraft.
Diablo.
Really, like we didn't touch
Yeah,
on
if it's-
StarCraft. Like,
Well,
I think
because
because they're
StarCraft
too
is-
ingrained in PC.
Yeah.
It's PC
Identity.
landia,
Yeah.
right? That's the problem.
Right.
Like eventually, could they become more consoles? Sure, of course. Like I said, if they announce World of Warcraft 2 and it's built from the ground up for consoles and consoles are included and it happens to be Xbox console
Mhm.
exclusive, it's gonna be a big freaking deal. Yes, Jasper's point, will it still be a PC known game? Yes, but at that point, a lot of people are gonna hop into that game on console. It will be Xbox known for sure. And it will be gigantic, but that's a really unknown right now.
so we're only accounting for the only Activision game that's even on this list.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty.
I would put like Crash on there, but that's going to be like,
Crash, Tony Hawk. I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Crash.
But they're gonna
would
be at the
like
bottoms
above
where it, like, doesn't really
Psychonauts
matter.
and-
right,
Yeah, I would put that with the Psychonauts.
Yeah, that kind of
Right.
stuff.
right. I mean, you got Sekiro in there technically too.
Sekiro.
They listed as their IP. So
Yeah, they haven't
technically-
announced a new one yet. So it's
No,
hard
they
to-
haven't.
yeah.
But I'm just saying it's there. I'm just
I
saying
feel
that's
like
where
a
you
lot of
start getting
those
this.
games, you know, like
Right.
All right, so South of Midnight was announced. I'll put that below Perfect Dark for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's like should be even. I think that should be farther down because isn't that going to be like a smaller game anyway? Like,
Well,
No,
we don't
they're
know for sure what it's going to
going a
be.
little bit bigger.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Seems like
triple A. It's triple A. They've got a triple A budget, so they got the new studio. It's supposed to be triple A. So, you know, see. I mean, it could have
It goes
impact.
in-
It could be. It could be a third
Yeah.
party, third person narrative driven game.
it just
but
seems
heavily-
like to me that's something like a Psychonauts 2 or something. You know, it's like
no, it's bigger than that.
Hmm.
Their
It'll be
budget wise
bigger,
and
but-
studios wise, it's bigger. But I understand you talk about impact wise,
yeah.
potentially, but it could be bigger. It could also have. It has more potential than a Psychonauts 2 does. I think.
All right, so
Like, I would say that's above like a Project Mara kind of game.
yeah,
But then again, that was geared to be a smaller experience too.
This is tough. I mean, again, when you get down here, then there's a lot of what ifs.
yeah, no, exactly. Any of these could be massive.
Because
but,
again,
like,
Dishonored, Prey. I mean, Dishonored is huge.
yeah, I would put those like undergrounded,
Not
even though,
huge,
like I would
like-
say, like Dishonored is above Prey, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right
I
now.
prefer Prey, but yeah. More people like
yeah, Dishonored is trash.
All right, so here's our list, guys. I threw those two on after Grounded, right? Because we give
Mhm.
Arcane some love here. Call of Duty is going to be the most important associated brand with Xbox, right? Elder Scrolls will be second. Fallout
Fucking
will
Blink's
be
a time
third.
sweeper.
Starfield has a potential to be fourth, but it's tough to put that on the TBD
What it's
list.
all,
It's just-
what it's already done.
It's already made such a huge
worthy.
impact, right? With the
Yeah.
hype. Halo, Forza, Doom, Gears, Sea of Thieves, Hellblade, Wolfenstein, State of Decay, Grounded, Dishonored, and Prey. And again, we're not saying what's most associated with Xbox. We're saying like what may be the most important things to be associated with Xbox.
right. Brand identity. Correct.
bringing
So
in new gamers.
yeah, and then to be determined, Fable, Clockwork Revolution, Indiana Jones, Avowed, Perfect Dark, South of Midnight. Crazy world we live in now going forward where, so all of a sudden this acquisition supplants everything else with one title. And we've already seen the fruits of that just recently with, like Psycho said, people buying old Call of Duty copies like crazy and stuff. Alvin with the $2, I appreciate it. It says, when you do the list again in a year, where's Sonic? It's gonna be high up.
It'll be higher up for
This-
sure.
You got
Sonic's
like
gonna be-
Persona on there.
Sonic's on
you
an
got
upswing, so
Yeah.
like a
sure.
dragon on there.
You got the movies and all that stuff. Like,
Oh,
it's
Persona.
crazy.
Persona would be big too if they acquire.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a fun
It's a
show.
It's a heck of a list. Yeah. Why so serious? Starfield has the potential to be the new face of Xbox.
It
in
does.
a certain way. It does.
I think it's
Until
just
Elder
hard
Scrolls
for that
6
because
comes
it's
out.
more of a you identity game, not like it's hard to put Xbox like for Xbox to grab something from that and make it their identity because it's more of your story. That's the problem with that game.
Correct, but I'm just saying when it comes
Yeah.
to the ecosystem and when it comes to be known as a console exclusive for Xbox, Starfield could be way up there. Like that, if you want to go play Starfield, you go get an Xbox or a PC, right? But it's going to have both the console and the PC balanced more so than most games, and that's why Elder Scrolls and Fallout are up there because they were PC more known, but then they became console and they became known on Xbox specifically during the 360 generation when Xbox was dominating to a certain degree. So I think Starfield has a potential to start that way from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just because of what it is.
Man, what
What is it,
a
like 30 games.
what a
30
list of
plus?
games already. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
there's so many we didn't even include
No,
just
right.
for whatever stupid reasons we came up with. Like,
Right.
it's like, oh, we can't include it because of this.
Luis
It's like
says
fucking dumb.
solitaire.
Like, really, all
Right.
those games should be here.
And again, with the unknown too is the Game Pass factor, right? I mean, when Diablo drops into Game Pass, right? All of a sudden, Diablo's on season 2 or 3, whatever it's going to be when it drops into Game Pass. Maybe sooner, but maybe let's say Diablo has gotten their fixes, and all of a sudden Diablo is like, oh my God, this is a great game to play. There's none of this negativity around it right now. Diablo and Game Pass automatically makes it associated with Xbox to a certain degree, right? So that transition starts then. Like I agree with Jasper's position that Diablo right now is much bigger on PC, but overall, the console base ever since Diablo 3 has grown significantly more so than the PC side of things. So therefore, I think that Diablo 4 could eventually be very important to Xbox and being known there.
I mean, it's always going to be important. It probably makes $1 billion a
right
year.
money
whatever.
wise. You're right.
Yeah.
Brand identity. I'm just saying
Yeah.
Game Pass automatically makes it assumed, even if it is multi-plat as an exclusive. We talked about that. That Game Pass effect happens a lot in games. So Diablo 4 certainly could be a big one down the road.
Just easy list. Game Pass, number one. That's it. That's the most identified to Xbox. There we go.
All right, guys. Well, we've got some Remnant 2 to get to. Appreciate everybody being here tonight for this show.
Totally different show. Totally different way to go with it, man. I'm impressed. I like it.
Yeah, it was fun. Just running around having like
especially on a week
discussion,
like this,
debate,
whatever.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys all rock. I can't wait to see what all evolves with the ABK stuff and how it changes Xbox also. And that's kind of the point of this discussion. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be an interesting world to live in. Psycho. Oh yeah, go ahead, Pong.
One thing, we can do it during outros. Okay, we can do this during outros. Just want to grab everybody's kind of temperature. If PlayStation 5 Pro is legit, I don't need a big long explanation, Psycho. Does Xbox come out with a mid-gen refresh to match the PS5 Pro? Yes or no?
Psycho, where can everybody find you and answer Pong's question?
Yes, the answer to your question is no with the Series X.
Okay.
Possibly with the Series S.
Okay, interesting. Okay, got you.
But you can find me everywhere on social media. Chat. You guys are fantastic. Love seeing the enthusiasm that we've been seeing lately. Awesome that we had a little over 200 here tonight. Thank you for all coming. And find me every Monday, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Holy shit. 10 o'clock Mondays, FSP, and Fridays, as always. I'll be a little late to come into these podcasts, but it's all right.
Yeah.
we'll,
Appreciate you still
Better for
making
working, brother.
making the
That's-
time.
yeah.
I'm happy
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. So
Yeah, like I said,
Um,
finding the good fight on the front line and selling Series X's out there over PS5s.
Make sure your manager never watches this.
yeah.
Oh, she's on board. No, just kidding.
Yeah, didn't Xbox contribute more to game? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
the GameStop
Game
a while
Pass,
back.
yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, if they're buying all the old used Call of Duties, they
No,
probably
no,
got
no,
more
no,
money this
no.
week.
what they did is
Old
they
month.
bought the storefront. So they bought the front section because that used to be PlayStation. Now PlayStation's in the back. So what now it's smart because now people have to go through the store.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't been in a GameStop in 10 years.
Yeah. So PlayStation's all the way in the back. So you have to go through all of our stuff to get to it.
Gotta go
I'm not gonna lie.
GameStop down by the river there,
All
Jasper.
that's where all the consoles where you can
It's not by the
pre-own
river.
consoles, all the collectibles are
It's
back
up on
there.
the hill.
Because because PlayStation gamers like to spend money apparently.
Yeah.
They got endless pockets. Like
Well, that's what the companies want. So,
Yeah.
Jasper, where can everybody find you, sir?
Well, I'm not going to be down by the river.
You gonna go over
But,
to Ken Bardu's dealership, get yourself a new Ford?
Yeah, go down to Ken Bardu's. It's down the street. It's right across from the Zaxby's. That's where all the car dealerships are.
Damn
see
road
it.
came through here with
Damn
arrow damage. We got
road
arrow
damage.
damage now everywhere.
every
It's not
Sunday
Do
night.
what now?
Inside joke, everybody, during
Dang,
Diablo
neighbor.
the other night with me, Mav, and Jasper.
If you want a deal, there's nothing we can't do here at Ken Bardu's. All right.
Yeah, Lord Jasper Tour, Lord Master Jasper YouTube, all that fun stuff. 10 o'clock Eastern, Monday, Friday, Fun Speculation Network for Xbox Ultimate FSP.
Friday, Monday?
And no, we're not getting a Xbox fucking Pro because that's what the Series X is. So the
Okay.
Xbox Series X was the Pro,
Fair enough.
and we have it.
Got it.
Right on. Probes and Series X's. Let's go. Fuzzy,
Fucking talk.
where can everybody find you, sir?
Awesome being here with you guys. Always love doing this. Those that want to hear my endless rambles and rants on anything gaming related, find me on Twitter, YouTube, and whatnot at fuzzy_Belvedere or just fuzzy Belvedere, all one word. Look forward to seeing you guys here again on FSP Monday at 10 p.m. and then right back here on Friday for Xbox Ultimate at 10 p.m. as well. And I think we get a refresh, but not a Pro. I think
Not
it's
a Pro.
just
Yeah, we'll get a
maybe
slim
small
or something.
chipset or
Slim version.
Yeah, we'll get a
I knew we get a
revision.
revision. Yes.
Yeah, we'll get revisions because they're gonna do it with a smaller die for
Yeah.
better efficiency. Okay, before I would want Microsoft in the next generation go with at least 16 gigs of RAM RAM.
Do you not
And then-
understand the rules?
No. I don't want this 10, the 16 total, 10
He
is this,
didn't- he
6 is that. They need to do 16 total and then add the 6 or 8 they need for the OS. So it'd be like 22. And so this way they can just fucking not have an issue. If they do another Series S, give it
Have a good
16
one, guys. Take it easy.
fucking memory. God damn. Ran over. That's it. Keep the
Did not
memory
understand the rules.
I don't care. Keep the memory allotment on both consoles the fucking same.
Say,
don't
save
give a
this. Do this at your store to customers.
I do. I got.
They're like,
people
oh,
sitting
great.
there
Can I just pay for
listening.
my game, sir? I just want to pay for my game and leave.
I just wanted to pre-order.
No, they engage. It's
You know
like
what? Psychonauts
Twitter,
is the
but in
perfect
real
GameStop
life.
employee because they always
Oh
try
my
to sell you random bullshit every time I just want to
Here we
pre-order,
go.
sir. I just want to
Sir,
pre-order
sir,
$5.
Sir, I don't
$5
care.
down. That's all I want.
No,
I don't
they-
care
they-
about the
I
fucking
don't
Pro
care
Games.
about
see
next
my-
gen, sir.
They see my Xbox shirt and they're like,
I still have an
"Oh,
Xbox One, sir.
Xbox,
Please.
I'm like,
Sir, I only came here for a Switch. I don't care.
yeah, well, I'll give you a Switch, and
Oh my god.
Something's going on at our store down in Florida. There's a really high percentage of Xboxes being sold and no more PlayStation.
number one store for Xbox.
Our
sold.
PlayStations are full in the back. Like we got to stop ordering PlayStations. It's weird.
We do.
Psychonauts
Yeah.
changing the community around them.
I had my actual county buy 2 Series X's.
The county?
The county. The county. I'm making moves, yo. So
Hello, Mr. Person here at
This
this
is
No,
the county
establishment.
jail.
I'm here
they
with the
came
county, and I need to
They
know
came-
what system to buy for the county. Like, what
We
the
work
fuck
at the,
does that mean?
the health
Is it like-
department and the county
No,
jail.
because
Just come
the
on
county-
down
I
here
don't
with
know.
Xbox.
I'm not sure what they're trying to do, if they're doing like a kid thing, but they came in
I'm here
for
with the
2
county.
PS5s and 1 Xbox Series X. I convinced them to get 1 PS5 and 2 Series X's. Because like Game Pass will save, and you can play all these games. It's amazing. You don't have to buy these games. And they're like, oh, you know what? That saves us money. And the county likes to save money. Guess what? It's gonna be pro Xbox.
The
by
state
end of
government's
the
coming in next week.
and your county can thank all the all you psychonauts for saving all the taxpayers' money, because the county's not wasting money. This is great, man. Saving everybody. Let's go, Xbox.
I mean, they spent $3,000 on stuff. So
Never mind, I take it back. County's wasting money on video games. Wasting taxpayers' money.
no, they're not. What are you talking about?
It turns out it's just like the local high school where it says like whatever county high school. It's like, oh, you work for the
No
county.
count. No. It was. I can't even say it because I don't want to get no one in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you
That
have
said
any
blank.
deals
Just,
here
just had
for
a
the
Letterman
county?
jacket on.
They're just
I
tax
want the
exempt.
same deal as the county got.
Tax exempt. That's all.
How do you know they're with the county? Do they come out with a come?
Do they
have
flash
the
the
tag-
badge?
They have the county. They have
I'm with
the,
the county,
tax
sir.
exempt form
Oh.
that says.
Ah.
You know they
the
could be with
seal.
like a church too or something.
Yeah, but the church is not going to have a pass. They're not going to have a county.
Okay.
What it is.
Let's just let them roll with this one.
All right.
The
No.
county bought games from.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Not a
cool.
church.
Hey. Pong Soul.
Pong
Same
Soul.
question to
Yes.
you.
Yes, my own question as well. No, I do not think that they match the Pro. I do, however, think that this actually they will launch early next gen by year. If the PS5 comes out with a Pro, I think Xbox goes early and beats them to the next gen. That's what I think.
Interesting.
That's my take on it right now. Anyways, everybody, what a great Friday night. Thank you all for joining us for this extra special Xbox Ultimate, in which we talked about a topic that nobody else has talked about this week at all. I can guarantee you that. But thank you all for being here. It was an awesome night, brothers. It was awesome to get your takes on all this stuff. It was fun doing this list. Actually, it really was. So thank you all for being here. Pong Soul everywhere. You guys know the drill. Tomorrow morning, it's Living Split Screen. That's right. The newly minted YouTube partners. That's right. Living Split Screen, Steel Rain, and myself will be going live, raw and uncut, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, 3+ hours. Buckle up, get ready. We're going to talk the talk and walk the walk. You know that. So be there tomorrow morning for Living Split Screen, because Mission 1K continues. Even while we are YouTube partners now, we continue on trying to get more and more people. So tell a friend, bring a friend, and be there for that. And then, of course, tomorrow night, it's the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam's channel. That's right, PTK Blam, Fuzzy, myself, and the guest is what was his name again? Fuzzy, do you remember?
Was it Captain something?
Captain Logan. Captain Logan.
Oh.
Thank you. Yes, Captain Logan, who also does Xbox expansion pass or podcast. I'm sorry, with Luke Lore, the one and only over there. So we're gonna have him on tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. Great things on Saturday night. So be there. Best place to be for Saturday night. Join us there. And then next week it starts all over again. You know the drill. Double Barrel Gaming. Mr. Stick Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Thank you, Cycle, for the cough. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Every Tuesday, All Good Things Green. Xbox Factor Podcast. Thursdays, PM in the PM. Pong and Mav in the PM. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Every Thursday night. Listen, y'all. It's a golden age of gaming. It truly is. Get out there, enjoy it. Have a great weekend. Play what you love. Love what you play. And I'm going to talk to you real soon, about 10 hours from now. See you then. Mav, answer my question and get us out of here.
Yeah. Appreciate
Psycho
everybody.
decides to do something else.
Sorry.
I appreciate everybody watching tonight. If you are an audio listener, check us out on Spotify or Pocket Cast or iHeartRadio or Google Podcast or Apple podcast, whatever the hell podcast platform you want to listen to us on.
Stadia podcast.
Give us a little bit of a review on there if they got it. Appreciate it. It greatly helps people find us. And everybody here live in the chat, you are all amazing people. Love you all. You're just awesome. And to answer Pong's question, is I no longer care, because it ain't gonna be a problem for me either way, and we'll find out about that later. Find out about that another day. But I'm just gonna say, it don't matter none. If they shall, I'm gonna say that Xbox shall compete with the PS5 Pro. To get ahead of the power narrative, I think it would be released within a year of the PS5 Pro, because I think it's going to be a very long generation.
Okay.
And we'll see. I don't know, man.
I thought that too, but the way things are going,
Yeah. Tough to say.
PS5 wants to end it in 2025. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. I
Yep.
mean,
Will the Switch 2 be out by then?
yes.
Yes, and they'll be behind again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be behind.
now.
But it'd be leaps and generations forward of what they have now.
Wishful thinking is there was a new Series X Pro or whatever that was $500. They phased this one out, and we got every game at 4K 60 or higher, right? That would be amazing.
Oh, you mean like that fake 8K bullshit that was going around today? Yeah.
No, I don't mean the resolution. I mean like 4K 60 or 120, or like 4K, 60 just has all games at least. You know what I mean? No more of this like 42 frame bullshit or like 720. During the well, that's PlayStation 5, but during the open world, we go full resolution and 30 frames, but in the fight scenes, we take it down to 720p 60.
Yeah, but that will only last like 2 years, and then it'll be back to 42 fucking frames.
Yeah. Gotham Knights, games like that, like, I mean, those kind of things are why I want that to happen, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm pulling a psycho and talking too much about it. Hey, guys, thank you again. Have a great night. We'll see you on Monday for FSP. Again, Thursday for PM in the PM. Friday's Xbox Ultimate Podcast, 10 p.m. Eastern Time every week. And if there's big news or just feel like doing it, whatever, Mavcast, random days and stuff like that as well. Have a good one. Peace out.
Check your local deals at Kim Bardu's.
Oh.